a.m. at Moix RV.
We have a simple formula at Shelter Insurance. Provide personalized coverage at great rates with local agents to help you choose the coverage you need. And if the unexpected happens, fulfill our promise to be there when you need us most. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call your local shelter agent, Ryan Hughes in Fort Smith.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, showers and a chance of a few thunderstorms bringing us much needed rain. Occasional showers, a few rumbles of thunder with a high today into the upper 70s to near 80, winds up to near 30 to 35 miles per hour. Showers will become likely later tonight, an overnight low in the low to mid 60s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Colorworks. Whether it's the weather or just life, call Andy at Colorworks Paint and Body for all your auto body repairs. Big or small, old or new, they are the choice for auto body repair. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, you're listening to ESPN 95.3. ERX Paris, Fort Smith. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. What kids they dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
But they were one Razorback. It's vintage Matt Jones.
The Cinderella story is over, man.
Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Good morning and happy game day. Happy Thursday. Oh, that makes me feel good here. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Christian Johnston. Matt, I got the day right the first time I thought about it. I had to ask you what day it was yesterday. So just a quick second of thought. I know it's Thursday today. It's a game day. So, hey, I thought yesterday went really well overall, but I needed your help to tell me what day it was. So I think I'm a little more conscious than I was yesterday. How you doing?
Yeah, that was a long trip you had right there the day before. Man, hey, it's game day. We're a day closer to Saturday to get to watch this Final Four. You get soccer's back this weekend. They've been on international break. You get Augusta next weekend. Baseball team, time to bounce back. NFL draft coming up. Man, it's a good time to have a sports show.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. It's a lot happening here. I'm excited about this series with Arkansas and Auburn. Yeah, you got the women's Final Four starting tomorrow. Yeah, I kind of stopped paying close attention once Arkansas got knocked out of the SEC tournament for women's basketball. But did you realize it's the same Final Four as last year? And you're so used to seeing. Keep in mind, like how the Big Ten hasn't won a national championship in basketball in 25 years, and so you see some of the same names in the Final Four sometimes. Although out of the four that are there, you're really not used to seeing three of them of late. I remember Arizona going a lot back when I was a teenager. Michigan was a routine entrant. Illinois, not so much. UConn's the only one of them, but then South Carolina, UConn, Texas, and UCLA for the women's game. It's the second year in a row that they're all there. The matchup is different though than the year before. And South Carolina and UConn, they're always in that thing, literally always in the women's Final Four. And I was just thinking about how things are obviously different in terms of conference strength. I guess if you're just looking, well, put it in these terms, Matt. So the Big Ten wins the last 3 football national championships. From 2000, or I guess it was from Michigan when they split that national title with it. They split a national title with Tennessee one of those years. Ever since then, only Ohio State had won a national title until this run that the Big Ten has been on, and now you got 3 in a row. Now you're at a place where, the Big Ten teams don't play each other in Saturday's Final Four. Illinois plays UConn, Michigan's got Arizona. You could end up with an all Big Ten matchup. And I don't think you'd be surprised if that actually does happen. And you may end up with the first Big Ten national championship in men's basketball since you were getting ready to suit up for the Razorbacks at quarterback, Matt. It's then I was even looking at like the baseball rankings. And this has more to do, I think, with the geography of where the Big Ten got their better baseball programs. But UCLA, USC, Oregon, UCLA is top ranked in the country right now. Big Ten's been encroaching on the SEC's territory, Matt. And, hey, SEC doesn't have anybody that's going to win a national championship in men's basketball, so it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, this stuff writes itself. It's pretty cool to be able to watch the sport and to be able to discuss it, and then it goes to there's going to be 4 Arkansas Razorbacks drafted in the NFL draft that won 0 games. So then it tells you a little bit about the coaches that you had 4. When's the last time we've had 4 guys get drafted in the NFL draft? I know we had 2 last year, but Taylor Green, Mike Washington, Neal, and Carmona, all 4 of those guys are going to get drafted.
Never mind the idea of like the last time anybody from Arkansas got drafted with that. What was the last time any team that lost every conference game had
4 guys?
I would say, what's the number? I was going to say even multiple players drafted.
It doesn't happen, yeah.
Well, I mean, what did any of chat? I mean, unfortunately, Matt, we've got a little experience with teams.
4 times, huh?
We've got a little experience with years. That's right. A little experience with the winless conference records. I wonder if any of those teams, and for the previous 3, I guess the way that you're putting it is in that year's draft. Like you go over, and then the next draft, you're talking about that. But I was kind of thinking about that because how many players that were on Chad had 2 winless teams. So on his last one, I think Stromberg was on that team. Burks was on that. That's just 2 right then and there. They weren't drafted that year. But I think that's the point that you're making. I hadn't even thought about that either because I'm not thinking too much about the draft. But it is coming up soon, isn't it?
You got that coming up soon. World Cup's right around the corner. I want to say we're less than 80 days from the World Cup. Summertime, you get the All-Star game. Baseball All-Star game will be in July as well. Man, there's just a lot going on in the sports world, and I'm enjoying it, enjoying every second of it.
Well, I enjoyed being here at Plainsman Park last night for the team workout. I told you guys on the show, I wanted to go. I mean, I like to go to all their workouts before a series started, but specifically yesterday, just because, that was, I felt like they really needed a win on Tuesday against Missouri State, just to alter a little bit of the trajectory that we'd seen coming into a weekend in which you're facing a team in Auburn that's just as desperate. I think they've lost its 5 of 6, and the Hogs have lost 4 of 5. And it's funny because Auburn right now can't score, and Arkansas pitching is struggling to keep teams from scoring. But they had really good energy yesterday. And I'm not telling you that just to say it. They really did. I mean, they were, I walked over from the hotel. It's a beautiful night. Walk over here. It's like a half a mile away. It takes 15 minutes. Walk right in, and Dave's throwing batting practice. And the guys are hip-hopping around, and they're joking with each other and all sorts of high-five. They were fine. And I've been around a team that's miserable.
Mm-hmm.
I've been around a team where the losing streak can really affect you. I saw some moments with the women's team where I felt that was the case. They still played hard. I don't feel like that losing streak that they're suffering right now, Matt, has affected them, at least the way that they were practicing. Maybe it affects the way they played a little bit. But that's the best thing I could see yesterday. That's the best thing to report is that they're fine right now. We'll see what happens this series, though, because that might affect their mood, too.
Yeah, I'd be looking at body language when both teams are going to BP and both teams are getting ready. You can start to see it. I mean, you see it in basketball. You'll see it in football as well. but you see it in sport, and it's confidence a little bit, and oh no, here we go again. And how is it when there was I don't know about the 8-minute mark, you could tell in the Razorback game against Arizona they started hanging their head. You can tell. I was like, oh, I wrote it's like, their body language changed, and with rightfully so. If everybody could read what was on the wall, you knew what was going to happen, but body language kind of changed. So. And you're privy, you get to see the Hogs every day just about. So, like, you'll be able to tell, just by being around them if something changes. And so that's a good thing, I think, that it hasn't changed. There's still understanding that it's a game. It's a child's game. It's a kid's game. Go out there, have fun, compete. Don't lose that joy that you had when you were 17 or you were 12, whatever it was. Because it's more of a job. You're making money now. It's more of a grind. There's a lot of that stuff, the transitional thing that goes into it. But when it comes down to it, remember, man, it's a kid's game. They keep score. There's a scoreboard. It's a game. Go out there and play the game you love and with passion and play for your teammate.
I haven't seen too many teams that are miserable around each other that just can, win a bunch of ball games. But, throwing strikes, keeping it in the ballpark, not swinging at the pitcher's pitch.
Do what you can do. Like, exactly.
Right.
Don't try to do too much because you can't get it all back. There's not we used to say in basketball, there's not an 11-point shot, not unless you're playing the big three. You can't get a 17-run home run. You're just like, hey, just play the game, do your thing, one out at a time, one strike at a time, and try to breathe and enjoy yourself.
I also saw so there was a complete game thrown by Sandy Alcantara yesterday for the Miami Marlins. I think there are going to be more people at this game here in tiny little Auburn, Alabama, than there were at the Marlins ballpark. With for his complete a little under 7,000. You can get over 7,000. They're getting over 7,000 since they renovated this ballpark. This is a beautiful little baseball park right across the street from Jordan-Hare Stadium, which is a great place for college football. Now, this isn't one of the showcases of college baseball, but this is a really neat little atmosphere that is going to be loud. I mean, this is the kind of series that Arkansas right now, get a load of this, Matt. You could say about the idea of a target being on your back. Arkansas has been ranked in the top 25 for 132 straight weeks. That's not 52 weeks out of the year. That's the weeks that you actually have the rankings. It pretty much takes you back to the 2017 season. You lose this series, you very well could end up out of the top 25, and it's that sort of string of rankings that I think gets a little bit of the intensity from the opponents, and they're going to be feeling. The fans, maybe not the Auburn team but the fans will be smelling blood when they get the opportunity to. Because this is the only thing they got going on here this weekend for sports. I think softball's on the road, and, nobody's going to spring football or anything. So, man, you are walking into a Tiger's den. And if it's been struggle for Arkansas to score some runs, it's going to be a struggle against a team that really, look at some of the numbers here for Auburn, just in the league alone. They have the third best ERA against SEC teams. They're hitting only .237 against Auburn pitching. That's while Auburn has even lost the last 5 games. So I don't know. I just know that this is a fun ballpark, but it can really be a tough place to win. But the Hogs have always found a way to win. And I'm also thinking about some times where I've seen seasons turn here in this ballpark. 2015, the season kind of turned here. On a base hit by Joe Serrano up the middle that won a rubber game, and then in 2019, after getting run ruled by Little Rock, the season turned here on a Friday in a doubleheader where they lost the first game in heartbreaking fashion and won the second game in 15 innings. Like that, that's 2 teams that went to the College World Series, and the season swung in this baseball park. And you kind of hope that at least from what we've seen from the last couple of weeks, might swing back the other direction here. Starting today with Gabe Gackle as the only announced starting pitcher for this week, which I think is interesting because I do think it shows this coaching staff right now is not looking at these games as 3-game series. I think they're changing their perspective on how to go about each game specifically, not the series specifically. That tells me I don't know they're holding anybody back today. Really, I think, you know how sometimes you feel when you're watching a Dave Van Horn coach team and he's managing the game on a Friday, when they got a chance to win, they pounce with their best relief pitcher, and they're going to throw him out there for as long as they need. Usually that relief pitcher is not one of the starting pitchers. That could be the case here. I do think that they're going to change their perspective. This has now become 3 one-game series instead of a 3-game series. They just want to win one at a time, and I don't think they're going to worry too much about tomorrow. So that's a change in perspective from the way that most baseball teams operate, but it also shows you that I don't think the coaching staff, and specifically Matt Hobbs, who handles the pitching, is intent on just letting what has happened over the last few games where pitching has really faltered, not sticking with the same plan. So that's something that, I think we'll hit on later through the show. We'll have Brett Dolan coming on at 1:15. We've got Batter Up with Bubba Carpenter about an hour from right now. And since we didn't have him yesterday, you think Grant Hall in Valhalla at Augusta National? He's over there for the women's U.S. Masters. So I think we need to go see what it's like for him up in the clouds, Matt, because I imagine he makes it every year. That just means Grant gets to go to heaven every single year.
Feet on the ground, head in the clouds, man. Let's go to Augusta.
All right. Well, if your calls and texts will go throughout the show, too, at 877-377-6963. Grant Hall joining halftime right after this.
Lewis Automotive celebrating 80 years. Since 1946. No pressure.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch.
Big old slab.
C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Are there still places Taco Bell's crispy chicken nuggets haven't been? Sure. But the inside of a Crunchwrap slider is no longer one of them. The new crispy chicken Crunchwrap slider. All white meat chicken nuggets where only we could put them. Inside a slider-sized Crunchwrap. And the dipping sauce, it's along for the ride. On the inside. Choose from creamy chipotle or jalapeno honey mustard. The new crispy chicken Crunchwrap slider. A brand new classic. Only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for. Only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com. RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Are you leaning a certain way in this Final Four? If you're going to be in it to win it. Head to mybookie.ag. Use code HOGS, that's HOGS, and get your first bet covered up to $500. If it misses, activate your Bet Back bonus token and run it back. Madness only comes once a year, so don't just watch it. Win from it. Only at MyBookie. Must opt in to use the Bet Back bonus.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they love the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E. from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with the free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
Nobody ever she does. She does. Yes, she does. And if somebody loved me like she do.
Make sure to follow Halftime on X at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-60. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Since 1946. No pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Grant Hall is joining us here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Grant, for some reason, I always want to call you Grant Hill now because it's it's March Madness, the Final Four is coming up, Duke's done, but this time of the year, I always want to refer to you as Grant Hill. But you get that a lot or no?
One time I got a ticket at Spartanburg, South Carolina, and the guy wrote out Grant Hill on there. And so I just sent him the money, but I never changed my name. And so, but Grant Hill, the basketball player, may have something on his record that's like 30 years ago. So, but that's the only connection I can remember.
All right. Well, we love having you on, man. I know, how many years in a row is it now that you've made it to Augusta National?
Well, this is 44 times, but there were 2 years of COVID where most of the media got interrupted, but started in 81. And today I'm at Champions Retreat where they're having the Augusta National Women's Amateur. It's beautiful here, and it actually kind of is evocative of Augusta National. It's got pine trees. They lost about 1,700 trees here to the hurricane a few years ago, just as Augusta National was damaged by that thing. But we got 3 University of Arkansas kids. Maria Jose Marin, who just won a college tournament at Clemson last week, is 7 under right now, and she's in 3rd place. Player named Ortegrin is 11 under, and Astros Talley is 9 under. And then another kid from Arkansas, Reagan Zabilski from Springfield, who's a senior, is 3 under, looking like she's going to make the cut, which looks to be at about 1 under. That's kind of the best guess right now. Some other connections, Mackenzie Lee from North Little Rock, a senior at SMU, is a couple shots over the cut line right now. And Grace Kilcrease, who's from Springdale, I talked to her dad today. She's a senior at Oklahoma State, and she's struggling a little bit at 7 over. So the other Arkansas kid, Sarah Brincheneff of Lyon, France, freshman, is, I think, out of the cut line too, but getting some good experience. So it's a nice thing that I'm not sure they're going to always have this tournament here. They may move it. I understand maybe somewhere next year. Who knows? They may move the whole thing to Augusta someday. When it's rumored that that Augusta may build 18 new holes, but that's probably way out in the future if they did that.
Hey, Grant, speaking of Arkansas kids, when do you think John Daly Jr. Gets a chance to play Augusta? How long away do you think he is from teeing it up at Augusta?
Yeah, that's hard to say, Matt. He got to the semifinals of the U.S. Amateur last year and was within one match win of making it, this year. He's a senior, having a pretty good year, and we'll just have to see how he does when he gets out on tour. A lot different player from his dad that doesn't take the ball back nearly as far as the double jointed John Daly does. But he's had a pretty good last year and a half.
What was the time difference between when John Sr. Finished playing at Arkansas from when he won that British Open out of the blue? What was the time between those two things?
Well, he was I think 25 maybe. Well, let's see. He kind of hit it on tour when he was about 24. I remember he won $40,000 at the Honda. That was a lot of money back then. And then I guess it was 91. He won the PGA. That's when I think maybe he was 25. Yeah, because he was born in 1966. And then he won the British Open in 95 when he would have been, I guess, 29. So, John finished third the first time he ever played Augusta. And a lot of people thought he had the game and the type of shot shape and everything, but that was as well as he ever did at Augusta.
Speaking of Augusta for this year, anybody that stands out as far as a favorite besides, a Scotty Scheffler or Rory McIlroy?
Well, you mentioned too that it'll get a lot of notice. I think John Rahm. It's hard to remember those guys in the LIV Tour because you never see them. But I think he's had 5 or 6 really good tournaments in a row. So there'd be another guy. He's a guy who burns to compete at this level, and even DeChambeau is another guy that you might think might do well there. So that's 4 pretty good names.
Grant, we got a big series here starting at Auburn. I just realized I think it's been like 5 years since I was here last. How do you view what's going on with Arkansas baseball right now? Do you think this is this losing streak is a blip on the radar? Can they turn things around? This is 2 weeks on the road. What do you think?
Phil, I know that game the other night. People wondering, could you have pitched somebody else maybe late? But they have to prioritize these weekend series, and lost 15-14, I guess. But I saw a thing though. And it's easy to forget that when Arkansas was 1 out away from winning the College World Series, they were 18-12 in the SEC that year. And I don't know what they're going to go this year, but certainly people thought it would be that type of year or better starting out. I really thought they had a great pitching depth this year. And maybe what we thought hasn't quite panned out. I still think it's a good team, don't you?
Well, I mean, I'm trying not to make my mind up on anything in the while they're in this stretch. But they haven't been a good team for during the last last weekend to week. Anybody could look at the South Carolina series and look at it whatever the way they want to look at it. That the Arkansas could have lost that series if the Carolina shortstop makes a semi-routine play, or that they at least won a road series, and then. It's the thing is here's where I'm with you. I mean, the difference about 2018 was that they didn't lose a home series. You've already been swept at home and had a lot of non-conference home losses, which I don't think happened in 18. And I don't think you necessarily saw that the pitching depth was a problem, which right now, I mean, I don't know if it is. We'll find out this week. But that's the thing, is I thought that this was going to be a team that would stabilize based on the pitching, and that's the defining characteristic about these last 6 games is the pitching hasn't stabilized anything, and it's specifically starting pitching. You need that to stabilize.
Yeah, and what's troubling about Auburn, is they've lost 4 in a row in the league now. Kind of like Florida came in here with 3 straight losses and hopping mad and had a team meeting and all that stuff and took it out on Arkansas pretty good. You wouldn't expect Auburn to to react any differently in terms of how hard they're going to try this week. So, I mean, in this stretch of 7 out of 8 on the road, I guess that's going to go a long way toward deciding what kind of year this is going to be for Arkansas.
Hey, Grant, Final Four coming up this Saturday and then the championship Monday. Will you get to watch any of it? Are you giving Illinois a chance to make the championship? I know a lot of people are thinking it's UConn and then it's going to be the winner of Arizona, Michigan, and then that's kind of your national championship game. How will you be viewing this national championship?
Yeah, I am actually giving Illinois a chance. They're playing really well. I think they're 28-8 or something, and I guess Connecticut is kind of doing it with mirrors. I mean, they Duke snatched defeat from the jaws of victory the other day.
Yeah, they did. They gave that one away, didn't they?
I mean, what is this, 17 out of 18 or some ridiculous thing that he's won in the NCAA tournament? But I would maybe go with Illinois in an upset, and then on the other side, everybody thinks that the winner of that game is going to win the tournament, but it's possible that Arizona, Michigan, that the winner of that puts so much emotional energy into it, if it's a really close game and a hard game, that the survivor on the other side, I remember a long, long time ago, I was thinking about this today, Fayetteville High School had a basketball team that did not lose a game all year in the state of Arkansas. They split home and home with number 1 Springfield Central. This is back when J.D. McConnell and Justin Daniel and guys like that, George Coppage and John Fawcett were playing. And Fayetteville lost senior guard late in the year and lost to North Little Rock, which shot 60% from the field in the semifinals. And then Jonesboro beat North Little Rock to win the championship, which I don't think they're anybody's radar. And I talked to a kid, he said, well, we're the state champions. That's it, So who knows? Maybe it would come out of the Illinois Connecticut game.
That's going back quite a ways to set up this Final Four game here.
Well, last year we saw it with Houston, and you even saw it with Coach Kelvin Sampson. Kelvin Sampson. After the game when they beat Duke, it was like they won the national title. It's like no,
Yeah.
You still got one more game to go.
Well, I picked them to win this year in my bracket, because I thought playing 2 miles from their campus, they should be able to get to the Final Four, but they just weren't quite as good as these other teams. Do you think Arizona is going to beat Michigan? What do you guys think about that one?
I like Michigan because they're older. Arizona's starting 3 freshmen. I'd like Arizona's players, don't get me wrong. But I'm going to take Michigan over Arizona.
I haven't watched enough Michigan to really have a sense about them. I just know that they're really good. But I think Arizona's got everything you need, independent of 3 freshmen by now. I mean, they're veterans with as many games as they played. I'll take Arizona.
Yeah, I think I will too. But I think it should be a great game.
Hey, Grant, how long are you out there? How long's this trip for you?
It's funny. I saw Paige McKenzie this morning. As far back as when she was coming out of the University of Washington playing at Walmart tournament a long time ago, and she was saying 2 weeks in Augusta. I love it. Yeah, I'm going to be here through the 13th or something, and so it's a good long time, and no better place to be. I mean, it's just something about today this course goes through the Savannah River, and I saw this guy fishing. This is being Clay's ballpark, but he was fishing, I think, for bass, and had one of those trolling motors, and it looked like it's like the boat was just free streaming upstream, and he was casting this way and that and under logs, totally oblivious to the fact that these 3 women were hitting golf shots right over his head, in this river. So it was just kind of an idyllic, peaceful, quiet scene in the midst of a great golf tournament.
He just used the word I was thinking of. Idyllic. That's beautiful,
Yeah.
Grant. Well, we'll talk more next week when you're still out there. See if you got any clean clothes left. Okay.
Okay. Thanks. Sounds good.
You got it. Grant Hall joining us here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline for the first of 2 times from lovely Augusta, Georgia.
Have to get one of those 12-day vacations, Phil. We're not doing it right, are we?
He's living the good life,
man.
Yeah, but that's also his job. What a job. What a
Working
life.
vacation even better.
Hey, you are not kidding. Not kidding at all. We'll open up the Lewis Automotive Group hotline for you now if you like. 877-377-6963. Crabtree RV Center in Alma. 75 years and counting. Thinking of big adventures on a day like this, to be out on the highways with the family over the summer and having a big time with an RV. They've got the perfect RV on the lot at Crabtree RV Center that fits what you're looking for. They also feature personalized financing, top-of-the-line parts and service department, and right where you make your purchase. And you can find Crabtree RV Center online at crabtreerv.com, or visit them where I-40 and I-49 come together in Alma. All right, meanwhile, we're back with more halftime right after this quick break.
Wise man once told me there's no such thing as a bad one, so we'll take it. There's a bad loss. I've never heard of a bad win, so we'll take it.
This is halftime.
Superstars Joe Klein and Pat Bradley for Arkansas's #1 sports app, Bet Saracen.
Joe, you know the main difference between Bet Saracen and those other guys?
Definitely. Easier to navigate. Always good parlays. Plus lots of fun choices, like ping pong, right there on the app.
But the real difference are those special promos.
Get $250 on us with your first $25 wager.
Gambling problem? Call 800-GAMBLER.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Taco Bell's Lutz boxes are going to people's heads. Because once they experience the refined $5 box, opulent $7 box, and indulgent $9 box with the new crispy chicken crunch wrap slider, they start expecting everything to be as Lutz. Home, James. You know you don't have a chauffeur, right? Don't let the Lutz go to your head. Try Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lutz boxes today.
When a business has been around more than 65 years, you know they're doing something right. Hey, Ty Richardson for Johnny's Transmission. They've been trusted in Fort Smith and the River Valley since 1959. Located at 1212 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith, they strive to make every customer's experience outstanding and want your vehicle to be in the best condition for the road ahead. Check out their website, johnnystransmissionfs.com, and find them on Facebook. Johnny's Transmission, family owned and operated since 1959.
Spring is here, and it's the perfect time to upgrade your home. If your garage door needs repair or you're ready for a new look, call Precision Garage Door. From broken springs and openers to brand new doors, they provide expert service and professional installation. Fully licensed and insured, with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers, and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call 844-PDS-DOOR or visit PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Precision Garage Door, voted the best in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Are you a middle-aged man feeling low on energy, struggling with weight gain, a decreased libido, or even battling depression? You don't have to feel this way any longer. Hi, this is Stephen Pittman, a licensed nurse practitioner and expert on testosterone replacement therapy. At Pittman TRT in Fort Smith, our priority is to restore your vitality and energy the way you felt in your 20s. No need to drive an hour or more.
Call Pittman TRT today at 479-274-1747 or check them out online at pittmantrt.com. Pittman TRT. Get back to feeling like your old self again.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
It's beautiful as the sun. Wonderful. It's wonderful. And I can be attached to the broken.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years.
Since 1946, no pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive.
Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
So I caught a look at this yesterday. This is one of those things on April 1st. You wonder if you're being played around with, but it's the real thing that Elliot Cadeau, he's the Michigan point guard, Matt Jones, was wheeled out of Michigan's Player Development Center yesterday on a gurney and loaded into an ambulance because of a possible allergic reaction to something that he ate. And his travel to Indianapolis has been delayed because of this. I don't know what it was he ate, what the situation is with him, or, if this questions any of his availability. But, man, and I've seen some pretty nasty and maybe even violent allergic reactions to food, and it sounds like he may have had one.
Man, that's no bueno. Hate to hear that for the kid. You want, anytime you get a game like this magnitude, you want everybody to be healthy. You want everybody to have all their weapons, and may the best man win. So hopefully he'll be right. The thing that you worry about something like that, Phil, is dehydration. Let's make sure you get your electrolytes in. If you got to get an IV at halftime, whatever you got to do. Because it's a cardio game. The good thing is he's young, he's in shape, but you still kind of worry about lack of fluid.
When you had to get your electrolytes, what did you use? You just chug Gatorade?
Well, they had I was always 50-50 on my Gatorade water. But they had these little packages that you would get. They would look like they would be like in a sugar package, or they look.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. These things smell so bad.
So you could do one of those, and that's like your weekly allotment of your electrolytes. So the 24 hours leading up to a game, every hour is kind of planned for you, when you rest, when you eat, what you put in your body. So a lot of that usually helps. Handful of times, Phil. Like when we played at Florida, I had to get an IV at halftime. Sometimes during camp. I've seen you had to weigh in before and after practice at camp. I've seen people lose 17 pounds in one practice. That's not normal. So you can't, so a lot of people lose 9, 10, 11 pounds in one practice, and then you got to go practice again.
It's no wonder you're, basically consuming 5,000
That's
calories a
they're
day.
Eating 5,000 calories a day, all day. Yeah.
I remember having a conversation with one of the football players from a few years ago, and he's just like, I used to love to eat. Now my appetite's taken
I still love food, but I don't eat as much. Yes.
Right, but I think they get to the point where they're sick of eating. If there ever could be such a thing, when you actually have the appetite and they feel like they're almost force-feeding themselves, I sensed that from him, that it wasn't even just the food necessarily, because there's the shakes and the supplements. I guess how many different shakes do you want to have a day, man?
I'll never forget. I've never been able to do this, Phil. I mean, Gabe might be able to do it right now. He might be at the age that you can do that. But we went to Firehouse Subs to get subs, and there's about 5 of us, and all 5 of us go down in the line, get a foot long, all a little different, whatever. And then 2 of the offensive linemen went back up after they ate their sub, got another foot long, came down and ate the whole thing, ate 2 foot long subs in one setting. Get out of here.
Now, you've eaten around me enough to. How long do you think it would take me to eat 2 foot-long subs?
It would take 3 shows. We'd get done by Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 foot-long subs actually might feed me for 3 full days. I think that could get me going for about 9 hours. Wow. Let's hope we never have to test that theory either. 877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Group hotline. I wonder what it was that he ate. You were allergic to any foods, Matt? I'm lucky. My daughter was allergic to eggs until the age of 2, and then thankfully that egg allergy went away. And I was like, that's when I really started reading packages. I wasn't reading packages of ingredients for my health for any reason. I didn't care what I put inside me. But if to keep her from throwing everything up for the 18th time, let's make sure there aren't any eggs in this. But I've never been allergic to food.
I'm only allergic to people that don't take showers.
It's oddly enough, you realize not everybody is allergic to that. Maybe some people, and I did have a classmate. I think it was around the time of 4th and 5th grade. She was allergic to chlorine.
Yeah, I get a little. My skin's real sensitive. That as far as stuff like that, I use unscented, unfragrant stuff like that. If I get out into the pool a little too much, kind of get a little dry rash, little dry. Your skin gets a little flaky.
I remember. I'll never forget though that, and for some reason when I'm thinking of food allergies, I'm thinking of, and this story would go much deeper than just the food allergy. But the Travelers, we had an intern, and usually you think of a baseball team intern, it's like a late teenager or somebody who's just graduating college, not a 37-year-old man from Japan who just wanted the experience of living in the United States and working for a baseball team. But we had one. His name was Kay, and he was literally the hardest working person you've ever come across in your life, and he earned himself the nickname Hardworking Kay. Now, I've got about 8 different stories about Hardworking Kay. One of them is he'd never eaten, and I wonder how this happens, because when you go eat sushi, so many of the sushi rolls come with avocado on it, but I don't think Kay had ever eaten avocado. And then he finds out one afternoon that he really liked avocado, and he just kept eating. There was slices of it, and he was like, this is delicious. And then he found out about 15 minutes later that he is deathly allergic to avocados. And you've ever seen a 5'4" Japanese man's lips blow up to the size of 3 bananas? Oh my God, that was one of the weirdest looking things I've ever seen in my life. And we did, thankfully the ballpark is right by UAMS, so they took care of that pretty quickly. And Kay is still alive, and I'm sure he hasn't had any avocados since.
Well, if you're the Michigan player, let's stay off avocados, I guess. I was looking at these couple games, Phil. So the one stat that kind of stands out to me about Arizona and Michigan so far in the tournament. Every single game, both teams have won by double digits. They're the only team in there that's left that's won by double. That's something's got to give.
I wonder if they've trailed at all.
Did not Arkansas have that we scored the first 2 against Arizona? Did we have it?
No. You remember it was an easy bucket. It was a turnover, and then it was a foul, and it kind of went from there.
Purdue led a little bit. I know that.
Okay. Has Arizona trailed? I don't know. They did have a big lead against Utah State.
Purdue had the lead against Arizona for a little bit.
Okay. Well, that's.
But both teams have won all their games in this tournament by double digits. So they really, essentially, maybe it's close, but not really. If you're winning every game by double digits, is it really that close?
No, I'm going with Arizona. By the way, too, Matt. You want to go with the taco? And I already owe you in unit tacos because I'm dead last in our pick'em.
Well, man. You gotta go. Are you gonna take UConn or Illinois in the other one?
Well, I'll figure that one out depending on whether we're going to go with tacos or whether we're going with empanadas. How's that?
I'm down. I ride with Yalen Rose and the Fad Five all day.
Yeah, you're going to wear your shorts all the way down, though? I've seen it's hilarious.
Socks, yeah.
Oh, did you ever see? I saw a photo, and I think this must have been from the mid-'90s, and it's like they're showing a college basketball photo of, I forget the teams, but it's one team in red and in black, one team in blue, and they're at the foul line, and literally everybody's, almost everybody's
mid-calf.
ankles are covered by quote-unquote shorts. Like, yes, they did look like they were ready to go to sleep. Should have been wearing flip-flops at that time, too. 877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Back in a moment, wrap up hour number 1. This is halftime.
Spartans, ready your breakfast and eat hearty. But tonight, we dine in half.
This is halftime.
Spring is in the air, and the fish are biting, the gobblers are strutting, and the trees are blooming. Gelco Outdoors, your locally owned one-stop shop, is ready to help you get outside and enjoy the great outdoors. Stop by and let our friendly staff help you get the gear you need. Gelco Outdoors, your store for hunt, fish, and work. That's what we do. Gelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith. Shop local. Shop Gelco Outdoors.
Budweiser, the American lager. A time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, not when you work with Tara Limbird and the Limbird Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust the team that delivers results. Go to LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
If you work the land, Wheeler Power Sports and Kawasaki want to work for you. The Kawasaki Agriculture Sales Program is delivering exclusive farmer incentives on Kawasaki off-road vehicles. Save $250 on a brute force. Save $500 on Kawasaki mules. And $750 on Kawasaki Ridges. This program runs through March 31st, and it can be combined with any other Kawasaki promotion. All you need is a registered farm ID, ag tag, exemption, or co-op membership. Wheeler Power Sports in historic downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Do you love fireworks? What if you could get paid to shoot them? J&M Displays is looking for part-time fireworks shooters to help put on incredible shows across Arkansas, Kansas, Missouri, and Nebraska. They'll provide free training, great daily pay, and a front row seat to some of the biggest fireworks shows of the region. And there's nothing like hearing the crowd cheer after a show you helped create. Ready to light up the night and your future? Go to jnmdisplays.com and click the Join the Team tab to get started today. J&M Displays, where the sky is the limit.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment, or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
This spring, you're organizing closets, decluttering drawers, and maybe even scrubbing places no one will ever look. But here's a thought. Why not declutter your internet, too? If your shows keep buffering, your games lag, or your video calls freeze, that's digital clutter, and you don't have to live with it. Switch to Wave Rural Connect Fiber for fast, reliable internet that keeps your home running clean and clear all season long. Visit waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Lewis Automotive celebrating 80 years. Since 1946, no pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive.
Putting on a drum show. Complete a checklist for today. Now they have to let you out of here. Feeling stuck between a rock and a hole. Two places you do not want to go.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Sometimes I'll refer to some of the ballparks across the SEC as comparing to a major league park. I think that I've referred to Baum Walker as the Shea Stadium of the SEC because we get those planes flying overhead sometimes towards Drake, and Shea always had the planes flying overhead. Taylor Stadium in Columbia, Missouri is Tropicana Field, basically a destroyed ballpark that doesn't have a roof and probably should. And I would say Hitchcock Field, which is better known as Plainsman Park here at Auburn, is the Fenway Park of the SEC because there really isn't a lot of room to expand, so they build up. They've got a Green Monster. It's also in left field. They put seats on the Green Monster, which weren't there until I think 2 or 3 years ago. You've got weird nooks and crannies along the outfield, and people here speak with a different kind of an accent too, just like in Boston, Matt. So welcome to Fenway Park South.
Man, you got to be excited. Two teams kind of could be the defining moment of your season. You find a way to, it's one at a time. Is Auburn, what's the chances? Do both teams have a decent chance to make postseason play, or is,
they do
kind of still have you still control your own destiny is what I'm saying.
Yes, but I think both teams looking that if they're going to really control their destiny, they have to start doing it this weekend. Auburn has lost. Let me click on this page here. Auburn has lost 4 straight and 6 of 7 games. They've lost 5 straight SEC games, and in none of those games have they scored more than 6, and in most of those games they've scored 2. Arkansas has lost 4 straight. They've lost 4 straight SEC games, and in most of in those games, Arkansas hasn't been able to allow fewer than 7 runs. So this is one of those immovable objects against the irresistible force kind of a thing. It's just right now, Arkansas's pitching has not been an irresistible force, and Auburn's hitting has certainly not been an immovable object. So something's going to have to give in this one. And this is a hitter's park for the most part. Right-handed hitters, and this is a thing to remember because it's only 315 down the left field line here. You think that makes it easy to hit home runs, but line drives don't always get out. You can't pimp home runs here if you're right-handed or left-handed and you hit it the other way. You end up, this is a thing that Dave was screaming at the batters yesterday when they hit the ball to left field. He's screaming at them, run! Almost felt like he was going to be like Crash Davis screaming, run, dummy! But I don't think you want to call him dummy before the series starts. We're coming to hour number 2 of halftime. We'll talk more baseball with Bubba Carpenter in about 20 minutes. So wide open after the top of the hour break. 877-377-6963, our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Don't have any extra coffee here today, Matt. I already drank my juice shot. There is a Millionaires Club next door over here. See if they've got any free caffeine for me after the break. We'll be right back.
I've got a confession to make. I'm on my phone way too much, and most of the time, it's a waste. Hey, it's Ty Richardson for JamMart gas stations and convenience stores. There are some apps that are worth your time, such as the JamMart Rewards app. It includes top deals, the latest promotions, plus rewards that keep you coming back. Anytime I stop by the pump or register, my loyalty number is being utilized. Keeping up with my points and offers is easy. Download the JamMart Rewards app today in the iTunes or Google Play Store. JamMart, the leading gas station and convenience stores in Arkansas.
Dental emergencies do not wait, and neither should you. At Valley Urgent Dental, they're here for you on the weekends, whether it's a broken tooth, a painful infection, or a crown that's come loose. Dr. Kendall Roberts and Dr. Doug Terry are ready to help. Why wait till Monday? Call 479-235-5655 now. Valley Urgent Dental is located at 5505 Uper Lane behind Golden Corral in Fort Smith. Valley Urgent Dental, emergency dental care when you need it most.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make Awake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make Awake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make Awake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make Awake Bait and Tackle.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, showers and a chance of a few thunderstorms bringing us much needed rain. Occasional showers, a few rumbles of thunder with a high today into the upper 70s to near 80, winds up to near 30 to 35 miles per hour. Showers will become likely later tonight, an overnight low in the low to mid 60s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Colorworks. Whether it's the weather or just life, call Andy at Colorworks Paint and Body for all your auto body repairs. Big or small, old or new, they are the choice for auto body repair. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's Halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
They even one Razorback.
It's vintage Matt Jones.
The Cinderella story is over, man. Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome back. Halftime continues live on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. I'm Phil Elson. I'm live at Plainsman Park in Auburn, Alabama, where I guess 6 hours from right now it's going to be first pitch. ESPN2 will be the telecast, and we'll have the Dugout Show at 5:30 on most of these stations. Matt Jones in the ESPN Arkansas headquarters. Kristen Johnston right there across from him, and wide open here in this segment before we talk more baseball with Bubba Carpenter in the next segment. 877-377-6963. Kicked around a little bit about the Final Four, a little bit about this series. And, hey, the quarterbacks coach and some of the quarterbacks talked yesterday, Matt. I think they've had 4 practices at spring football, and it sounds like an open battle for the quarterback position if you just listen to the quarterback coach who was up there yesterday. So let's listen to him and see what we can glean from this.
I mean, every completion, every incompletion, the whole thing is boom, boom, boom. So you have this statistical view of it, all right? Who is productive? But then comes the aspect of like the gut feeling part of it, like when you watch it and you say, hey, who's moving the team, right? Who's moving the team? Who inspires the team, right? That's a huge piece of it. That's a little bit harder because I don't have an Excel spreadsheet for that. You know what I mean? That's more of you just have to watch.
And who knows what happens over the first four, but I remember thinking this job would be KJ's, KJ Jackson, AJ Hill, obviously getting plenty of, I think, first-team reps, and then got a Division II transfer out of Angelo State who's actually played the most football of any of the quarterbacks that are in that room. So, we've gone into, and it hasn't just been the last 2 years. It was, the 3 seasons that KJ was starting. You've known who your quarterback is going into spring ball. And I think we all have our ideas of who the quarterback's going to be, but nobody's announced his QB1 yet.
Yeah, you wonder sometimes, I know Clay Henry's brought this up, that you can't go out and say people have jobs anymore because then you lose the backup. So I wonder if that's a little bit that you're trying to make sure everybody keeps both feet in. But you can usually tell as a player. I mean, if you're halfway aware of what's going on, I mean, it's the same guys go out for first-team reps 90% of the time. So you got to try to break that. Who's ever getting most of the first-team reps, that's the guy. And he's talking about leadership and as far as, what quarterback do the play belief, what quarterback puts you in the right play. What the offense, defense, both feeds off. The quarterback's a leader no matter if you want to be or not. You have to be real. You have to be authentic. You can be a vocal leader or you can lead by example, but you're definitely, your voice will be one of the voices that is heard when you're the starting quarterback. And so that's a lot of responsibility.
Let's listen to A.J. Hill on this quarterback competition.
At the end of the day, it's just going to be based on who can really just make the throws and make the correct reads at the right time, whether it is pushing the ball down the field more or we really hone in on taking our UARs, which is our check down. So whoever can just make those right decisions, 2-minute drill, overtime, we need a field goal. So they're going to put us in those hard situations this spring and see who can really just hone in and really just take care of the ball.
Word about the UARs. Why am I forgetting what that means?
A UAR? Yeah, I don't know what's a UAR stand for. Sounded like it was his check downs that it's the underthrows, but I don't know what UAR is.
Well, I mean, he's that's something that he's focused on. But he's also come in with Coach Stewart, who was the quarterback's coach at Memphis, Mitch Stewart. And, I don't know if it's a matter of knowing the offense all that much better. I don't have any quotes here from KJ necessarily, but I like what I saw from him last year. I've never seen A.J. Hill throw the ball yet or take a snap.
And I don't know. It could be hot routes. It could be you're running your check downs. And I think what the quarterback right there was saying was a lot of the stuff is going to be based on your decision making and being situational. I talk about a quarterback being like a point guard. The ball's always in your hands. You're starting. You're getting it going. You're getting them into the right play. You're making the right read. So, and I think that's what he was talking about, knowing when to push the ball down the field and knowing when to not turn the ball over. You can't take sacks and can't turn the ball over as a quarterback. And just as much as getting them into the right play or getting them out of the bad play. If there's always a couple plays called, there's always a couple reads to go with, and it's a numbers game. There's 11 on 11, so there's always going to be a side that there's more players on one side of the ball. And so it's your numbers game. Where are we trying to get space? Where are we trying to get leverage? There's just some simple things that you go about, and then sometimes it's, do you like your matchup? I got one-on-one with my guy. We got to have confidence that when you got one-on-one with your guy, that you're going to be able to win.
take care of the ball.
Take care of the ball. What AJ just said right there. First and foremost, take care of the ball. You're talking also too about, more of the organizational aspect of making sure everybody's in the right place at the right time, and that you notice your reads and know exactly what to do with it. So and it's funny how you put it too, because you're here from the coach here, but the players on the field, man, they're the ones that are really going to have a sense of who's getting them into the right package and communicating properly, and who's, I guess, the most organized as far as getting them in the right position is concerned. So good to hear from that. Here's also Coach Stewart on the schedule for
that dude's
spring practice.
A detailed dude now. I mean, every moment of your day is planned out, scripted out, the whole night. You know exactly when to work. As a matter of fact, I'm up here. I just realized I'm up here sweating my fanny off because I was trying to work out, because it's kind of our workout block per his schedule.
From the things I gather about Ryan Silverfield, and maybe this has a little to do. We make fun of the idea of the new light bulbs and everything, but that's an attention to detail sort of things. You notice about walk into a room, maybe that you might want better lights. So that's just one small thing, but it does sound like he is he's punctual and has to pay very close attention to detail, which I'm not sure how different that is from the last head coach, but might be somewhat different. 877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Group hotline. I am intrigued of the idea of when's the last season you went in not really knowing who the quarterback is, because KJ's 3 years as the starter, you knew he was the starter. The 2 years of Taylon Green, you knew he was going to be the starting quarterback. So this is a little bit different. Quarterback, and here we got a listener here. Indian Mountain Home likes that the quarterback battle. Hopefully, it'll make them better. The iron sharpen iron court kind of a thing. I don't know. I mean, it's no battle the last 2 years. I'm not going to put any issue for Taylon Green as a quarterback on the idea that there wasn't anybody that was really pushing him. But it's a little bit more interesting, I think, in the springtime when there is that kind of battle.
I do think it'd be KJ's to lose. The other guy, Hill, that came in from Memphis. So yeah, in what you read and what you see, I mean, those are two big, strong kids. Two strong kids that can make some throws, and comes down to being accurate. It comes down to it's everything's situational. It really is. And I go back to just the basketball game we just saw with the Duke point guard, who, the point guard is like the quarterback. There's 7 different moves he could have made that would have been the right move, and you could have won the game, and he chose the wrong one. And that's the other thing. Being a court, sometimes there might be 2 different guys that are open, or you can go with but you got to keep it positive and keep making that right read, because you turn the ball over, man, that's the easiest way to go down there and sit on the bench if you keep turning the ball over.
Yeah, what I wonder about is, because you'd even brought up about, you practice end-of-game scenarios, all sorts of scenarios. Got to go to the length of the floor, just a baseline inbound to inbound and see what happens, depending on how much time is on the clock and all of that. You can practice all of that. It's the same idea as the 9th inning against LSU in Omaha last year, or the pop-up that didn't get caught. No, it's not like anybody didn't practice those things. But is there any way at all? It's the same idea as
you're trying to make
Chris Webber and the timeout that they didn't have. How can you ever replicate the pressure of the moment? Because you can practice the skill, what it feels like in those moments. You can't. There's no way you can replicate that.
But that's why you practice it so much, where it's second nature, and you don't have to worry about that. That's the whole concept there, because you can't. You can't. As a field, I always put it to the field goal kickers. I think that's the toughest job in sports. But all of a sudden, they might not have asked you to kick a field goal. Maybe on 4th and 2 on the 28th, they don't even let you kick a field goal. And then all of a sudden, the end of the game, you got to make a 51-yarder to win the game. And there's nothing else like it. That's some pressure. The least thing about ball sports is you're moving. There's really not a lot of time to think. You're playing, you're acting, you're reacting, and you're going, and then you have so many timeouts and huddle ups. it's not every time they huddle up. It's not like they just want to tell each other how good they look. You know, you're talking about, hey, there's 38 seconds on the clock. We're down 4. Hey, we don't have any time. You know, you're always kind of saying stuff like that. And usually there's one guy that's really good about that. If it's not the point guard, sometimes it's a big, but it's communication is key.
It's odd when you think of the differences in those ball sports that you bring up here. You know, a kicker, he's got a lot of time while the drive is happening in the last 2 minutes to think, well, we better get ready for this 58-yard field goal to send us to the playoffs. But they've got to, at the same time, practice, you know, how you slow your heart rate down. Breathing exercise is part of it, not just the practice and kicking the ball in the net. If I think of basketball and Boozer, the point guard, like, that's a game where you're always in motion anyway.
Mm-hmm.
There's timeouts and all of that, but you're listening at that moment to your coach. You're communicating with your teammates. It's just, I don't think there would be some of those moments like in baseball where you're standing around and be like, man, I hope they don't hit me the ball right now. He always had the ball in his hands. That's the thing that just didn't really compute.
It was just, man, he could have thrown the ball straight up in the air. They would have won. He could have thrown the ball backwards. They would have won. He could have just stood there with the ball and held it. They would have won. He could have hit a bounce pass. They would have won. He could have dribbled left one time. They would have won. Could have dribbled all these things. But instead he did this lob little over the shoulder pass that just didn't work out.
877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group hotline. We're going to break. We'll switch over to baseball. Batter Up with Bubba Carpenter is next. Stay with us.
Lewis Automotive celebrating 80 years. Since 1946, no pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Are there still places Taco Bell's crispy chicken nuggets haven't been? Sure, but the inside of a Crunchwrap slider is no longer one of them. The new crispy chicken Crunchwrap slider. All white meat chicken nuggets where only we could put them. Inside a slider-sized Crunchwrap. And the dipping sauce, it's along for the ride. On the inside. Choose from creamy chipotle or jalapeno honey mustard. The new crispy chicken Crunchwrap slider. A brand new classic. Only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for. Only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com. RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Are you leaning a certain way in this Final Four? If you're going to be in it to win it. Head to mybookie.ag. Use code HOGS, that's HOGS, and get your first bet covered up to $500. If it misses, activate your Bet Back bonus token and run it back. Madness only comes once a year, so don't just watch it. Win from it. Only at MyBookie. Must opt in to use the Bet Back bonus.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they love the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
I'm sure you'll be amazed to be helped by everyone. To you, sure they can be done. Oh. That I'm told, just one try, and you too will be sold. It's for the free, and not today.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946 and built on a tradition of trust. Enjoy the music you hear on Halftime. Of course you do. Our halftime playlist is brought to you by Bath Makeover of Arkansas. Bath Makeover of Arkansas is a local business, the largest bath remodeler in the state. They've done it by putting you first. Right now, Bath Makeover of Arkansas is looking for 50 lucky homeowners who will get 50% off installation of a brand new bathtub or shower. You heard right, 50% off. Call 1-800-NEW-BATH, 1-800-NEW-BATH, or go to bathmakeoverar.com. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
It is a game day. It is the first Thursday baseball game for Arkansas, I think, for the season. There's a few other series that will start on a Thursday, and we're glad to have them on the phones on our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. So let's have a batter up with Bubba Carpenter.
Bubba Carpenter hits a 2-run shot there that cuts the Phillies' lead to 1.
It's time to batter up with Bubba, featuring Bubba Carpenter. Brought to you by Sterling Bank, local friendly banking made to fit you. Visit your local branch in Fayetteville, Rogers, or Bentonville to discover the Sterling difference.
I've not watched a complete Razorback baseball game all year because I can't get away from the radio. You and Bubba are so amazing, the way you describe the game to us. And then Bubba, with his experience actually playing on that level, can't wait to hear you in Omaha.
We just love listening to you guys, especially my wife. She just cracks up at you guys. Just your camaraderie, your back and forth. Y'all are a great team.
Bubba, good afternoon. How you doing, man?
Phil, what's going on, buddy? How's the weather there?
It's gorgeous. This really is. This is beautiful here at the Fenway Park of the SEC. I love this place. You're no fan of Fenway Park, though, being a Yankee. You ever make it to Fenway?
No, I never did see Fenway. I really don't want to either.
You'd have been made for hitting at that place, man. Really, I mean, that's a left-handed hitter's paradise. I wouldn't say that Auburn is, but that is.
No, you were telling me last night how cool the stadium is there. You said they put seats above the Green Monster out there in the left.
Yep, they've got new seating section up on the Green Monster in left field. They've got it's called the Broadway Club, where the press box used to be, Bubba. So they got a little Millionaires Club set off just to the left of the radio booth here. I might have to mess with a few of those people if Arkansas finds a way to win some baseball games. But Auburn hasn't been winning baseball games either, Bubba. So this will be a really interesting series.
You know, it's crazy, Phil. I've been looking at the numbers, and if you look at Auburn offensively, I mean, they're They're hitting 211 as a team in SEC play. They're last in runs scored. They're last in home runs. They're last in slugging percentage. I mean, they're just not much production out of. Now, I guess you can give them a little bit of a pass because they faced Texas pitching staff, Florida's pitching staff, and Alabama. So they've seen 3 pretty good staffs. But boy, they've been scuffling offensively. So, you know, I feel like it's a good time for our pitchers to go back in there and get on track.
Yeah, Auburn's having trouble even getting to 4 runs, but the Hogs haven't held an opponent to fewer than 7 runs in a while. And what are you seeing from the pitching staff right now?
Well, you know, against Florida, obviously it was the walks. You know, you walk batters, you get behind, bad things happen, or you walk a couple of guys. Next thing you know, you give up a ball in a gap or a home run. You know, it looked like against Missouri State, we just ran up against a team that was swinging it really well. And I don't know if you noticed this, and I'm sure you did. Missouri State swung early in the count. I mean, they didn't get deep in the count very often. There were a lot of 0-0 balls hit really hard, where it's almost like Missouri State knew that we're a pitching staff struggling to throw strikes, and we're going to try to get ahead. You know, I joke with you all the time, what's the best pitch in baseball? Strike one. I felt like Missouri State was ready for that, and they kind of ambushed us 0-0, 1-0, a lot of hard hit balls in early counts, and you know it's one of those things that we got to get figured out. I'll tell you the pitch that disappointed me, Phil, was the 10th inning pitch to Bogenpaul.
The only pitch of the inning.
Yeah, the only pitch of the inning. I mean, that's their best hitter, and what's your best hitter trying to do in the bottom of the 10th inning? With a rowdy crowd, it's been a ruckus game, back and forth. I mean, dude's trying to hit a home run. And anyone that says he's not is lying. If he's I'm just trying to get a good pitch and God willing, put a good swing on it. Bull. He is trying to hit a home run right there. And Peyton Lee threw a fastball down the middle, and the guy hit it 400 and something feet. I mean, can't do that right there. That's got to be a changeup, a slider. It's got to be something other than a fastball, because that's what that dude's looking for.
Yeah, and I wonder what you feel about the pitch selection sometimes. Now, you know, this a pitching staff with Matt as the pitching coach that has a philosophy of you're not wasting pitches on 0-2. They're attacking, but sometimes that leaves some situations where attacking leaves some hittable pitches. It's not just 0-2 either, you know. And there was a moment in Tuesday's game, Bubba, which to me stood apart from almost any moment that I've seen in a baseball game, when there was an open moment of disagreement between James DeCramer and Ryder Helfer. Ryder walked out towards the pitcher's mound, and they openly disagreed. Their hands were moving. You could see. I don't know if they were angry at each other, but I've never seen that kind of open disagreement with a battery like that. And I just wonder, you know, if that was something that might have just bubbled over, if that is something that might have been lingering for a bit.
It could have been. I mean, DeCramer's been struggling a little bit, so you know, obviously, if the catcher puts down a sign and the guy hits it a long way, the pitcher's going to say, "Well, why did we throw that pitch?" I mean, that's human nature. But you got to trust your catcher. I've interviewed multiple pitchers, and for the Razorbacks, and they've all given Ryder Helfrich a ton of credit. Now, it's easy to second guess. You know, what if we throw Bogenpaul a first pitch changeup there in the 10th inning, and he's sitting on the changeup and he hits it out? We'll be like, "Well, why didn't we go fastball in?" You know, you can second guess the game to death. I call it the what if game. But I didn't see the interaction with DeCramer and Helfrich, so I don't know. But you know, DeCramer's been struggling a little bit, so I'm sure he's a little bit frustrated out there.
You know, I'm not saying that there aren't disagreements, but it's usually the kind of thing that either happens in the dugout, or if it happens on the pitcher's mound, it happens with your mouth over, you know, your mouth covered up by the glove, so that nobody sees that kind of. That's the only thing that stood out about that. And I don't know if I'm making too much about it or not, but it's like, you know, I've been around a lot of games. You have too, and I hadn't seen it like that before.
Well, so what happened on the next pitch? Do you remember?
I don't.
It could have been like a Bull Durham moment where the guy's like, Bull Durham, where he told him what was coming.
That's an interesting. I hope that wouldn't be the case. That would probably happen more in minor league baseball than college baseball, don't you think?
Yeah, that's not going to happen in college baseball. But I would be interested to see. I got to go back and look now and see what happened on the next pitch.
Well, I know DeCramer only retired 2 of the 5 batters he faced, so I I don't think it was a good thing that happened on the next pitch. Let's just put it that way. But can we take away a little bit of that they hit the ball better Tuesday? I mean, 14 runs, 12 hits, 4 homers. And here's another thing to take from this too. And I'm not trying to just say, well, just look at this because these freshmen are getting playing time. You want to win games while they're playing. But Carter Rutenbar right now is standing out. He's putting together maybe consistently the best at-bats on the team. And Christian Turner, man, there is something interesting about this kid. I know he's got a lot of speed, but I think the opposite field power is really interesting with him. Those two kids, I think, and obviously they'll be playing a lot because of the injury to Damian Ruiz. But I like what I see from those two freshmen.
Oh, absolutely. I love the way Carter Rutenbar goes there. He never gives away an at-bat. Like you and I talk about it, Phil. A lot of guys will go up there and they'll swing an 0-0 changeup, roll it over to the right side, and they're out. You don't see Carter do that. He goes up and he battles and he swings on his terms. He swings at his pitch, not the pitcher's pitch. If he gets 2 strikes, he has a knack for fouling off pitches until the pitcher makes a mistake. Give him a chance. The pitcher will make a mistake. You got to give him a chance. And then, when it comes to Christian Turner, the first spring scrimmage game I went to this spring, he went backside deep to left center, home run, and then he had a line drive to right center that was a double. It was actually a single that he played into a double just because he's so fast. But I've always been in the Christian Turner fan club. The kid's going to be a really good player. I mean, he's already a good player, but I think he's going to be a guy that at some point will probably lead off for the Hogs, probably hit some home runs. I mean, he's got such a quick bat. He doesn't look like he would be a kid that's got that much power oppo, but boy, he does.
So I know Auburn is throwing Andreas Alvarez will be their pitcher today. He hasn't pitched in an SEC game this year. He's been their midweek guy, and it's an 0.85 ERA. He pitched really well in the NCAA tournament last year. I know he also threw 4 scoreless against LSU last year, so he's had some good performances against really, really good lineups. Now, Arkansas has only announced one starting pitcher for these next 3 games, Bubba, and it's Gackle for tonight. I talked with Matt Hobbs for a bit, and he said, look, I mean, we still could end up with Gackle, and then he wants to try to keep Dietz on a Saturday, but there is a chance that Dietz could pitch today or tomorrow as a starting pitcher, and we might see, if he doesn't throw in relief today, Cole Gibler as a starting pitcher for the first time this year. So they're making changes in that rotation, and it may be pretty dramatic changes.
Yeah, I think so, Phil. I think Dave, kind of knowing what he's done in the past, we did it with Hagen Smith. We did it last year with Gackle. Move guys around and do whatever you have to do to win game 1. So it's not really a 3-game series. It's like you're going at it 1 game at a time, and you're going to do whatever it takes to win this game. Now, if we get into this game and it's close and we get to the later innings, I think you'll probably see Cole Gibler come in and do his thing. I think if we get through the next 2 days and we don't have to use Cole, I think you'll see Cole as a starter, on the Saturday game or possibly tomorrow's game, Friday. But I think he's going to go about it game by game, do whatever he has to do to win game 1, and then he'll worry about game 2 when game 2 gets there. And we've seen Dave do it in the past. He's had success doing that before, and I think we have the arms. It's all about getting 27 outs. Or if you want to look at the weekend as a whole, 81 outs. We have the arms to do that. It's just a matter of stepping up and getting it done.
And it's also it quite honestly is just a surprise that it's come to where they feel they need to do something like this, because you really didn't. I mean, we kind of had a feeling that starting pitching was going to be the backbone of the team, and any team that's got starting pitching as the backbone usually is a pretty stable team. But it's been anything but stable of late, and it's been the starting pitching specifically, I think, that you can point the finger at. Well, and so you look at when your Friday night guy goes an inning and a third against Florida, I think that it showed on Tuesday, the guys that were available on Tuesday at Missouri State. Since we had to use up so many bullpen arms over the weekend, I don't think we had some guys on Tuesday that might have normally pitched. Now, some guys stepped up big on Tuesday. Had some real. I thought Cooper Dawson looked great on Tuesday. I thought Kircher looked good. Even Parker Coyle looked good. He just made one bad pitch. I think a guy cheated to a cutter in. Of course, if Rutenbar catches the ball in left field, Parker never has to throw that pitch. So, I mean, there's so many things you can look at, but
I just feel I feel like we're going to kind of approach it one day at a time, and just go into tonight. We got 27 outs to get. Who's going to get us those 27 outs? And it could be anybody. I think it's all hands on deck. I think it kind of sucks though that we're into April, and you have a Friday night starter, and then you have Saturday, Sunday TBA, or Thursday night starter, and then Friday, Saturday TBA. I think that's not a good place to be, but they're going to figure it out, and hopefully this is the weekend they do it. I don't think it's a very good hitting Auburn team, so I feel like our pitching staff ought to be able to take care of business. And now on the flip side of that, Phil, if you look at their pitching staff, they're really good. Even the guy we're seeing tonight, a Tuesday night guy, really good numbers. Who do they have tomorrow? Is it Marciano tomorrow night? Is
yes.
their regular
they're
Friday
throwing
guy?
Marciano tomorrow, and then Auburn has a TBA for Saturday.
And they've got two guys that have done pretty well. So it'll be interesting to see which one they go to. And they may do the same thing. They may take a starter and use him tonight or tomorrow night, whichever game they need. They're in the same boat as we are. Their backs against the wall. They really need a win. But I just feel like Dave's going to have the team ready. I think Hobbs got the pitch staff ready. I think Nate's going to have the hitters ready. I feel like you're foaming at the mouth right now. Bad taste in our mouth, losing at Missouri State in kind of a hostile environment, which that just sounded to me like it was crazy right there, the Tuesday night game in Missouri State. But I just feel like the guys are foaming at the mouth, and they're going to go out and take care of business this weekend.
Well, I'm foaming at the mouth too, Bubba, but it might just be this nasty coffee that they've got on the booth to my left. So let's leave it there, and we'll do it again next week.
Phil, get you a little pickle juice, buddy, and it'll go away.
I'll try. I don't know if they brought them with them, but I'll go find one myself because it's worked once. It just hasn't worked every time. It works every time, some of the time. We'll see.
Every time,
Thanks.
some of the time. I like
Thanks,
that.
Bubba.
Well, get us a series win, Phil. Go Hogs.
And I'll try my best. Batter Up with Bubba Carpenter is brought to you by our friends at Sterling Bank. They live where you live, they work where you work, and they cheer from the same stands as you in Northwest Arkansas and also now in Central Arkansas. You'll find Sterling Bank in Fayetteville, Rogers, Bentonville, and in Little Rock. They step up to the plate with personal service, local decisions, and a commitment that lasts longer than one season. They're not just bankers. They're your neighbors, friends, part of the team that helps families, small business, and neighborhoods grow and thrive. Sterling Bank, proud to be your community bank season after season. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. You can look at their website. It's stirbank.bank. And we're back with more halftime after this.
Our arrows will blot out the sun. Then we will fight in the shade.
This is halftime.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is halftime.
There's not a backup in the country that can throw a ball like that.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Harry Robinson Salisal Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal.
Whether you're fishing for coldwater bass on Beaver Lake or Table Rock, or fishing for a trophy brown trout on the mighty White River, the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue will catch them. It has that famous rolling action whether it's fished extremely slow or worked fast in heavy current. This Rogue suspends, so it will stay in the strike zone longer, allowing you to catch more fish. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
It's your favorite time of year, March Madness, and the #1 place to get all your alcohol this basketball postseason is Eastside Liquor in Fort Smith. Located at 9390 Rogers Avenue, Eastside Liquor has everything you need. Dave Bushko and his team have all your beer, seltzers, wine, liquor, and more. Eastside Liquor, they always come up clutch in the postseason.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
She's a very kinky girl. You don't take home to my body. She will let your spirits down once you get her off the street. Oh, God. She likes the boys in the band. She says that I'm her all-time favorite. When I make my move to her room, it's the right time. She's never hot, please. Oh, now.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Since 1946. No pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Matt Jones, I sense a theme for our music here in the second hour. And I remember for Super Freak, did we have Unit watch the movie The Exorcist for halftime homework before?
I've still never seen The Exorcist, but I think Unit might have had to see it.
Did you have to watch that, Christian?
I'm 99% sure.
I would think if you've seen it, you'd remember it. Yeah, there's certain parts of that movie that you're just not going to forget, that you might want to forget.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, you remember those things. So you hear that song by Rick James and realize he's singing about the girl who was possessed in the movie. Not the character, but the actress, Linda Blair. They were, I think he always.
Yeah, she did in the movie.
Well, she's like 12 in the movie. Oh, goodness gracious.
I didn't know that.
No reason to go a little farther into that there. But she, much more attractive as she got older. And I think he always denied that they were a romantic couple, but this song always just sort of was out there for it too.
The version was like an adult though, the way they acted.
Well, the possessed version was green, and it was a demon. Wasn't even really a little girl. Anyway, I was just thinking about it because, you just played the song that it doesn't reference her, but it kind of does really reference her. Did we have Unit watching Platoon? Matt, didn't you assign him the movie Platoon recently?
Have you seen Platoon, Unit?
I don't think it's been assigned, but
So I wondered.
We talked about it this week, I think.
I've still never seen Platoon either. It was they won the Academy at the 49th awards, and I knew you've talked so glowingly about it that it was like, hey, that was cool.
Halftime homework brought to you by our friends at Flyway Brewing. Great weekday lunch spot in Fayetteville, or a place to host a lunch meeting that actually impresses. Great lunch menu, private space for dining. Of course, Flyway's fresh beer, cold crisp, ready when the workday wraps up. Big screens for all the big games you're thinking about. Great food, fresh beer, all the action. Flyway Brewing Company in Fayetteville on Zion Road. Make it your next stop. I love Platoon, and I thought could there be two directions you can take. You can take Unit, and since you've never seen the movie, Matt, I think this might be worth your time. Here's just the opening. I think this might be the opening scene.
Hey, white boy, what you waiting for? That hole ain't gonna dig itself. Come on, boy, get your dick skin on that thing. Dig. You can get all day. Dig.
Somebody once wrote, hell is the impossibility of reason. That's what this place feels like. Hell. I hate it already, and it's only been a week. The hardest thing I think I've ever done is go on point 3 times this week. I don't even know what I'm doing. A could be standing 3 feet in front of me and I wouldn't know it. I'm so tired. We get up at 5 a.m., hump all day, camp around 4 or 5, dig a foxhole, eat, and put out an all-night ambush or a 3-man listening post in the jungle. It's scary because nobody tells me how to do anything because I'm new. Nobody cares about the new guys. They don't even want to know your name. The unwritten rule is a new guy's life isn't worth as much because he hasn't put his time in yet. And they say if you're going to get killed in the Nam, it's better to get it in the first few weeks. The logic being, you don't suffer that much. If you're lucky, you get to stay in the perimeter at night. And then you pull a 3-hour guard shift. So maybe you sleep 3-4 hours a night, but you don't really sleep.
Yeah, there's really not a lot of joy in that movie, although it is, I think it's an incredible movie. It's really well shot. Oliver Stone, obviously, is the director, I think producer too, and I think it's supposed to mimic a little bit of his experiences in Vietnam. And there's 2 ways to go here. You can either go the Charlie Sheen route after that and have yourself an 80s experience of Charlie Sheen movies, Red Dawn, Lucas, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, The Wraith. That's an underrated one, all the motorcycles. Platoon, Wall Street, of course, that's an Oliver Stone movie, too. Young Guns, Major League, and 8 Men Out. That was Charlie Sheen in the 80s right there, Matt. That's some wildness. Or you can go the Oliver Stone route in the 90s, in which I think we've assigned him a few movies. Now, this is an 87 movie, but I think we've assigned him some other movies from Oliver Stone. But I haven't seen enough of the 80s. I haven't seen Salvador. I haven't seen Talk Radio, and that's shocking, truthfully. He's seen The Doors. I don't know if he's seen JFK. Natural Born Killers could actually be one that Unit, I think, would get through and remember.
Natural Born Killers has to be on the list. And speaking of Val Kilmer, Jim Morrison, Val Kilmer passed away a year ago on yesterday. I saw that. So, yeah, I know we gave him The Doors, which Meg Ryan, I think that was when he put Meg Ryan on his bid list.
I still haven't forgiven him for that. And don't you can see? Look up Linda Blair in a photo with Rick James. You're not going to put her on the mid list at that point, okay? If you don't go off of when somebody's wearing green face paint and they're throwing up pea soup. Anybody would be mid at that moment. I think you'd want to go by like maybe when she's at Studio 54 with her hair all done, and I don't know, she probably was holding her nose. 877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Thanks to Flyway Brewing Company for sponsoring our halftime homework. We'll be back in a moment. We'll wrap up hour number 2. This is Halftime.
This is blasphemy. This is madness. This is Sparta.
This is Halftime.
Save some green this spring at Rath Auto Resources. We've been hard at work getting ready for warmer weather, and we've put our best roster of road-ready certified pre-owned cars on the ground, priced to move and backed by a comprehensive warranty. With our non-commissioned sales team, painless pricing playbook, and the nation's best lenders, Rath's got the River Valley's deepest bench ready to take all the hassle out of getting your next ride. Don't settle for just any used car. Make the switch to Road Ready Certified and save some green this spring at Rath Auto Resources. Voted best pre-owned cars in the River Valley. 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith. RathAutoFortSmith.com.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful. Not when you work with Tara Limbird and the Limbird Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust the team that delivers results. Go to LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
We all make plans for the future, but car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Brad Howe in Van Buren or call Ryan Hughes in Fort Smith. Ace has always been the helpful place, and now we're even more helpful by offering instant savings to Ace Rewards members. Just sign up at Metters Lumber Ace Hardware to start saving right at the register. Buy now, get $100 off an Ego 56-volt trimmer and blower combo, or buy an Ego 56V Select Cut Walk behind mower and get a free battery, a $329 value. After instant savings with your Ace Rewards card. Ace, the helpful place. Must be an Ace Rewards member to receive instant savings. Available through the end of the month. See participating stores for details.
The spring allergy and hay fever seasons are here, and Law's Drugstore has what you need to safely take care of you and your family. Law's Drugstore can fill and refill your prescriptions, and they have all of the over-the-counter allergy remedies to provide comfort. Call 452-6116 and ask about vaccine shot appointment for shingles, pneumonia, COVID, and whooping cough. Law's Drugstore, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind the Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
I want to ride my bicycle.
Looking for a new ride or need a tune-up? Champion Cycling in Fort Smith has you covered. From top-of-the-line bikes like Specialized and Surly to expert repairs, apparel, and accessories, we've got everything you need to hit the trails. Stop by 5500 Mazard Road during business hours or shop anytime online at championcycling.com. Champion Cycling, helping you share in the joy of cycling.
Since 1992, the Inn at the Mill has welcomed guests to experience the most unique place to stay when visiting Northwest Arkansas. Centrally located at the Johnson exit off I-49, the Inn at the Mill has established a rich tradition of comfort, convenience, and value. Whether it's the big game, business travel, a trip to Crystal Bridges, or a weekend getaway that brings you to Northwest Arkansas, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious room with ample space to spread out. And when I'm there on business, I appreciate the fast, free internet to keep me connected to work and the laid-back European-style breakfast to start the day. Experience unique and different at the Inn at the Mill, just off I-49 at the Johnson exit. Call 479-443-1800 to make your reservation. That's 479-443-1800 or visit innatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
No more maybe. Baby's got rabies. Sitting on the floor in the middle of the Andes. Yeah, I'm free. Nature. Yeah.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Lewis Automotive celebrating 80 years. Since 1946. No pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive. Now let's get back to halftime with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Arkansas football legend Matt Jones.
There weren't that many dominoes that fell from Will Wade going over to LSU. But Boo Corrigan, the North Carolina State athletic director, yesterday introduced a former NC State player, was there for 4 years and was the top assistant at Tennessee recently, Justin Gainey, as the new head coach of North Carolina State men's basketball yesterday.
As a former point guard, Jason knows what it takes to manage a team. As a former captain, he knows what it takes to be a strong leader and what we need to do to take the next step. And as a two-time NC State graduate, he understands the love we all have for this university. To quote Coach Doran, Jason's blood is in the bricks.
Here's the problem. His name is Justin. His name is not Jason. And the athletic director misnamed his own new head basketball coach. This foot and mouth moment is brought to you by the Good Feet store. They have a great deal going on tomorrow and Saturday with $100 off of a Good Feet arch support system. I talk about these a lot. They have fixed my plantar fasciitis. They can help with your foot, ankle, and knee pain. You can find Good Feet arch supports at both Good Feet store locations in Northwest Arkansas. They're in Fayetteville, across from Walmart on Mall Avenue, and in Rogers, right across from Topgolf, next to Hideaway Pizza. Goodfeet.com if you want to learn more. It's tomorrow and Saturday only. $100 off of a Good Feet arch support system. That is not the way you want to be introducing your new head coach. Although maybe he'll get a little bit of grace, because at least they didn't call him, Timothy or something.
Hey, what? His blood's in the bricks. It's not in his name.
His blood's in the bricks. Makes me think that he might have gotten jumped outside the basketball practice facility once, and they didn't clean it up properly. Make sure you get your coach's name right. It's just an embarrassing thing more than anything. And something tells me that won't be somebody that's leaving for the next head coaching job that's open in the SEC. I think you think North Carolina is zeroing in on one of the Final Four coaches? Would they have a hire by now if that was not the case? I still think that Tommy Lloyd, the Arizona coach, is going to be the next coach of the Tar Heels.
Don't know. You could be right, but I'd say this. I think they already know who the next head coach is going to be. If it's going to be the Arizona coach, if it's going to be somebody else, I think North Carolina, it's already done deal. They're just waiting till after the Final Four, after the championship. Didn't Coach Cal get introduced or got the name? Was it on that Monday, or did he wait all the way till Tuesday? I forget.
I want to say that word started coming out, I think, the day of the championship game.
See, I think so. That Monday's when we kind of started hearing about it. It'll be something like that. But I think I think they already know. I think it's already a done deal. It's not going to be like by next Friday they'll already have their introductory press conference.
Yeah, you have to be right, because first of all, nobody wants to be announcing their new head coach during the Final Four, and certainly not a program like a North Carolina, where when they make that announcement is going to be, probably the biggest story of the day in college basketball. So, I agree with you too, Matt, but I still think that when I was reading about Tommy Lloyd, I kept thinking if they're not going to get any of the coach who's already won national championships, that's a guy that had a lot to do with Gonzaga getting to where they were for all those years, and has gotten Arizona back to a promised land. So I still understand Arizona as a program that should be where they are, but they hadn't been there. I think it's been 12 years.
Didn't Tommy Lloyd lead the team to the under-20 gold medals?
Yep.
Or was it 21, 19? I forget what it is.
It was under 19.
But the last group, he was the gold medal winning coach.
Third hour of halftime is coming up. You can join us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Hey, but speaking of basketball coaches, maybe I'll get to hang out with Bruce Pearl later tonight after the Arkansas-Auburn basketball game. We can compare sweat stains. We'll come back into the third hour right after this.
Spring is in the air, and the fish are biting, the gobblers are strutting, and the trees are blooming. Jelco Outdoors, your locally owned one-stop shop, is ready to help you get outside and enjoy the great outdoors. Stop by and let our friendly staff help you get the gear you need. Jelco Outdoors, your store for hunt, fish, and work. That's what we do. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith. Shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors.
Start the year strong with New Holland 300 Series compact track loaders from WT Equipment. Enjoy outstanding comfort, class-leading visibility, and best-in-class boom geometry for exceptional lift and reach. With fuel-efficient models from 60 to 90 horsepower and a wide range of attachments, the 300 Series CTLs are ready for whatever the job and the year throws at you. See the New Holland 300 Series compact track loaders today at WT Equipment in Springdale. WT Equipment. Equip your future, elevate your potential.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Time is running out. This is your last chance to enter the Mach 1 Motorcycle Madness giveaway. Head to hitthatline.com and lock in your final 4 picks by Friday for your shot to win a brand new Triumph Tiger 1200 Rally Pro. Then join us Saturday, April 11th at K1 Speed in Rogers, where one lucky winner rides away. While you're there, hit the track and race the fastest indoor karts in Northwest Arkansas, reaching speeds of up to 45 miles per hour. Don't wait. Get registered now at hitthatline.com and fill out your final 4 bracket.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, showers and a chance of a few thunderstorms bringing us much needed rain. Occasional showers, a few rumbles of thunder with a high today into the upper 70s to near 80, winds up to near 30 to 35 miles per hour. Showers will become likely later tonight, an overnight low in the low to mid 60s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by ColorWorks. Whether it's the weather or just life, call Andy at ColorWorks Paint and Body for all your auto body repairs. Big or small, old or new, they are the choice for auto body repair.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Lights Studio.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
They were one Razorback. It's vintage Matt Jones.
The Cinderella story is over, man. Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
It's 1:01 in the afternoon. Welcome back to Halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Olsen in Auburn at Plainsman Park. Matt Jones in the ESPN Arkansas studios, and he's got the unit, Kristen Johnston, with him there as well. There were I've got the windows open here in the home radio with a visiting radio booth, Matt, and there've been it's funny because last night after the team was done with their pre-series workout, Dave had the Razorback players cover the field with the tarp because it was going to rain a little bit overnight. And not every team will do that when they're on the road, but Arkansas does. So they cover the field. I show up today, and there must be a lot of holes on the tarp because the grounds crew has been repairing spots between first and second and third right along the edge of the grass that looked like it got a lot of water. I mean, they were dumping bags of either Diamond Dry or Turfus or whatever it is out there. So I've been watching this situation, and then there have been a couple of players. This happens this time of the year. I'm not creeping on them. I'm just sitting here doing a radio show, and there's 2 ball players that were sunning themselves on the warning track in left field, and then all of a sudden the sprinklers come out, and they start getting drenched, and they had to walk away from it, and it's all fun and games and funny. There's nothing. There will never be a moment where the sprinklers turning on at a baseball field, getting guys wet, is not funny. It's always funny.
Anybody ever bring a 56 degree and have a skills challenge? Because keep one of those in the bag.
I'm not sure what you mean.
Yeah, 56 degree, a golf club.
Well, no, and I haven't seen anybody play. What is it? Fungo golf yet?
Ooh, a frisbee would be cool. Have a nice heavy frisbee. Ride the wind. Ooh, that'd be fun.
You know what I did get over here they call it the Broadway Club next over door here. Yeah, it's a billionaires club is really what it is. They do have all the Cracker Jack that you can eat. And I don't really know how much Cracker Jack anybody can eat anymore because this stuff isn't as good as it used to be. Crunch and Munch is a lot better, but it didn't get in the song. So this, Cracker Jack gets the song and it gets everybody's nostalgia going. But do you realize there's only 1 peanut in every bag of Cracker Jack? You go ahead and find me a bag that's got 2 peanuts in it. I'm going to tell you, this little bag of Cracker Jack right here only has 1 peanut in it.
Still have the prize? You still got a little gift?
Got a prize in here, yeah.
Keychain, yeah.
Yeah, what do you think? What kind of a sticker do you think this is?
A sad face because you can't win anymore.
It says lift and peel. Sounds like a bad sunburn, my friend here. This is the dumbest prize I've ever seen in my life. It's a POW sticker. This is the emoji. This is a POW emoji. This is a prize? You're telling me this?
It's like off of Batman.
I mean, really, the prize would be a bag that has 2 peanuts in it instead of 1 freaking peanut. Charlie's here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, speaking of nuts. Hi, Charlie. How are you?
Well, at least there's not a tuna fish in the bag, Phil. I mean, you would just have to throw that one away, wouldn't you? Ooh, the smell of that. Anyway, how are you guys doing?
I was doing really well until you made me think of tuna fish in a bag of popcorn, Charlie. Now I think I'm gonna be sick.
You have gotten me with the cheese and the other things, man. You've gotten me so many times what I've been eating. So that's one that I
you owe me one. That's right. You owe me one.
Matt, you're the best ever. By the way, you'll be calling people's names out, and he'll just go, Jimmy Franklin over there at Virginia Tech. I'm like, Matt just does that on the reg, and it makes it sound like that really his name. I know you catch it, Phil. You just can't correct.
Are you talking about Jason and Justin, huh?
Yeah. But no, Matt is awesome. But no, real talk, guys. This weekend, Phil, for this series. How important is it for you does this change your mind about the team if they're able to get it going this weekend, or is it just Auburn's not really that good, are they? I mean, they're not.
Well, I mean, who knows? Look, they were top 10 until this stretch that they're on now, and now they're not top 10 anymore. So I think they've got a really, really solid pitching staff, but they're not quite sure what they're doing at the plate. And look, it's like this is the 4th week of the SEC season, which basically means you're about at the halfway point, if not just past the halfway point of the full season.
I know where you're going.
Right, yeah. So it's I understand that in this game things can sort of just turn around at a moment's notice, but if they don't start turning around this week, I'll have a really tough time being convinced that they'll get turned around against Alabama next week on the road with as well as the Crimson Tide are playing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you, and you always say there's a certain point in the season, right? You kind of are what you are at that point. I've always heard you say that, and so yeah, I mean it's kind of like it feels like that. We're getting to a point where it's getting close to now or never. I'm with you, Matt. I think North Carolina probably knows, but could also Tommy Lloyd, because he is from Washington, could he be using this as a situation where I'm trying to get a pay raise at Arizona?
Yes.
Do you not? That's what I'm thinking in my head. Like, North Carolina might be like, yeah, I'm going to try to go get this guy, but yeah, he might be like, hey, y'all gonna pay me or what? I need a pay raise. I don't know what he's making, because he is more of a, I think he's from the West Coast. I'm not saying he turned down North Carolina's job. That's not what I mean. But
you see what he said, though? I was watching Lloyd. I think it was after they made the Final Four, and he's talking about, Arizona. Whenever I'm gone, Arizona will find a great coach.
Good line there.
Like, yeah, it's like you say these things. Well, anybody can try to glean whatever information there is from that, because it goes in two directions. It's like, well, all right, I'm either going to finish my career here or I'm done now, and you're going to go find somebody. But if you don't pay me what I want, yeah, that's what you're going to do.
That's it. But either way, I think he is right. I think both of them wind up with great coaches. I mean, yeah. I mean, we all know two unbelievable programs, and they get it done. And also, I wanted to mention, Clay had said something about, with what LSU has now. Phil, do you think you could referee that group of coaches there? How would you like to be the AD to handle Kim Mulkey, Lane Kiffin, the baseball coach, and then, the other one, all four? Could you handle that? Yeah. Could you handle those four? You think you could handle that?
Well, I wouldn't want to be the person that's got to, have them all in the same meeting at the same time and expect to have, one person talk. But you do have some really interesting personalities working under one roof, or one athletic department, probably under 4 different roofs.
Yeah. Matt, I wanted to get your take. I've heard you mention Coach Silverfield a little bit. I watched him on a podcast, and, look, I know it's all early. We don't know nothing yet. But I do like some of the things that he's talking about, the little things. And you've talked about this in the past, where Arkansas may not always get the talent level that some of the other teams do, but these games come down to a few plays in games. And I heard him on the podcast talking about, a player on special teams, who was one of their better players, make a mistake, and he really values the little things. I just wanted to get your take and how important that is, because these games do come down to that. It's sometimes, we think about all the close games of Arkansas. Make a few more plays here or there and do the little things better. We'll see. But I just wonder what your thoughts were on him. And it's so early, I know. But anyway, y'all have a good one.
Thanks, Charlie. It's a little difficult to, figure out. But here's what I do think, Matt. It's like you can tell that this is somebody that I think pays attention to just real granular things about, the office that he's working in, the people he's working with, and I'm just thinking that has to pare itself down to, the play on the field. If you're paying attention to the smallest little detail that doesn't have to do with on the field, aren't you doing the same thing when it comes time to game time, and hopefully the players are doing the same thing?
Well, yeah, and you like that you're getting your in-state guys. I liked what we heard today. They were talking every hour is accounted for. You don't have to ever wonder or worry about what you're going to do, because you got it right there in front of you. And then you turn the page, every hour again's accounted for. Now you change, things happen, you have to adjust and adapt. But when you're not as talented, the little things matter. When you are talented, the little things matter too. But you can kind of gloss over it if you have somebody that's a 5-star that can, just is a special type of player. But when you have a collection of 3 stars and you sprinkle in a couple 4 stars, man, you better be good at the little things. You better not jump off sides. You better not lead the country in fumbles. You better not throw interceptions in the red zone. You can't beat yourself. That's how you win these closer games when they're all tough. Is you gotta get out of your own way.
Did feel like there was a little trouble with that at times before.
Hey, 4 NFL draft picks, I believe, in this upcoming draft, and you won 0 games. So something was off last year, but you got to get back to defense. Has to be physical. You got to have something on the offensive and defensive lines, but you got to prioritize defense. I love having Bobby Petrino in that offense. It was amazing. But if you're going to win at Arkansas, you have to prioritize defense.
How many games do they win last year if they don't fumble a million times. I mean, my
Well,
gosh.
what about just a well-timed takeaway by the defense in a couple of cases too? It does end up working both ways. Matt, I've seen some. So I think the 4 players these are the guys I think get drafted. I think you'll have there'll be Julian Neal will go drafted, Mike Washington and Taylon Green. Who else do you think will go? You think Carmona? I wondered about Sorey, but I'm not quite sure.
I don't know how healthy he is. He did miss a lot of tackles, but it almost seemed like if his knee or his hip he couldn't break down to come. You got to break down before you make those tackles. But Sorey can play on Sundays if he's healthy. They'll put him through the ringer, so that could be a 5th guy that gets drafted. But either way, Sorey will be on camp somewhere. Sorey will be in camp.
I've seen Taylon anywhere from like 2nd round to 5th round on whatever mock that I might have been looking at. So there's a lot of not really knowing where it is he's going to land. But we do know he's going to land somewhere.
6'6", 4'3", he'll be a top 100 pick. So whatever that means, I just don't. If you run a 4.3 and there's tape on you, it's not like he's a track guy and you've never seen him play and you're like, maybe we're going to play him at receiver. There is tape on this guy all for the last 4 years. 6'6", 4'3", he's going to be a top 100 pick.
I want to tell you about the Brad Hendricks Law Firm, Pure, Arkansas. They live in Arkansas. They work here, know the court system very well, and can help you so much more than all the out-of-state lawyers that advertise heavily all around the state. There are offices for Brad Hendricks Law Firm statewide for personal injury law, from car wrecks and big truck wrecks. They also take care of people for bankruptcy, medical malpractice, and Social Security claims. They bring tradition, reputation, and results. Brad Hendricks Law Firm, 501-910-1010. Brad Hendricks Law Firm, 501-910-1010. In a moment, we're talking with Brett Dolan here on Halftime.
Lewis Automotive celebrating 80 years. Since 1940.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit, is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Are there still places Taco Bell's crispy chicken nuggets haven't been? Sure. But the inside of a Crunchwrap Slider is no longer one of them. The new crispy chicken Crunchwrap Slider. All white meat chicken nuggets where only we could put them. Inside a slider-sized Crunchwrap. And the dipping sauce, it's along for the ride. On the inside. Choose from creamy chipotle or jalapeno honey mustard. The new crispy chicken Crunchwrap Slider. A brand new classic. Only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for. Only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com. RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Are you leaning a certain way in this Final Four? If you're going to be in it to win it. Head to mybookie.ag. Use code HOGS, that's HOGS, and get your first bet covered up to $500. If it misses, activate your Bet Back bonus token and run it back. Madness only comes once a year, so don't just watch it. Win from it, only at MyBookie. Must opt in to use the Bet Back bonus.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they love the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E. from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with the free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
Rocky Road.
Lipstick, baby scribbles in the mirror. Drama overdose. Cheer, mind twist. She got a finger on the trigger. Drama overdose. Netflix, lipstick, baby scribbles in the mirror. Drama overdose. Teachers, for kids. Stay away from the lines.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Lewis Automotive celebrating 80 years. Since 1946. No pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive. Now let's get back to halftime with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Arkansas football legend Matt Jones.
Hey, don't forget you can get every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family at Valley Family Dental. General dentistry, braces, implants, cosmetics, same-day crowns available, $300 off a snore guard if you tell them that you heard about them on ESPN Radio. Valley Family Dental is Dr. Sparkman Farmer and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice. All their patients leave with a better smile. You'll be much more confident, have a beautiful smile, and have a comfortable experience every time at Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Farm Drive, Suite A. And they're at 226-3500, valleyfamilydentalpractice.com. I wanted to make sure, Matt, that I did that read at that moment because I got a little popcorn stuck in my teeth here from the Cracker Jack that I opened a moment ago from up here in the Auburn ballpark.
Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack.
And as we go to Brett Dolan on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, there are 6 peanuts in this little half bag of Cracker Jack, which makes this an outlier, Brent, because usually there's only 1 peanut or 2 peanuts, and this is just much more nuts than I thought there were.
Well, you should know better than jumping into a box of Cracker Jacks between commercials or before segments. So I don't know if I feel too bad for you. Did it make up for the prize that you got? Was it a winner?
They need a new word other than prize. It's just a filler. It's just like something that's in the bag. I mean, make it edible. The popcorn is prize enough. These little stupid stickers with a pow emoji on it. Like, what am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah, it sounds like you're in a conundrum right there. You might have to go grab some lunch after the show.
I think so too. Final four, Brett. Any thoughts on who we're going to? First of all, who we're going to see in the championship game, and who do you think has the best shot to win this whole thing?
Well, it's a shame again that we have to see Michigan and Arizona in a semi. I mean, I guess I would probably lean Arizona over there. I don't want to deviate from what I thought at the very beginning. These seem to be the two best teams, and if you look at some of the efficiency rankings and some of the other things that I'm sure the hardcore folks or the gamblers do, they have been 1 and 1A or 1 and 2 for a bulk of the year. So that'll be a lot of fun. And had Iowa taken down Illinois, I probably would have been there watching at Final Four. But instead, I'll probably take Illinois over UConn, and that's more of a guess than anything else. Those teams met back in November, and Connecticut won by like 12 or 13 points. Wagler only had, I think, 3 in that game, and he's a big part of what they do offensively. So it feels like a true year ago. But it would be more of a guess. But I'd take one Big Ten team in Illinois and probably the better Big Ten team not getting to the championship.
Hey, is Wagler, the kid from Illinois, they're big. Is he the best NBA prospect? I was going through Arizona kind of looking. I know Bradley was the player of the year, and then you have those 3 freshmen for Arizona. Then is it Lindenberg for Michigan's pretty solid. Then Phil said something today that the point guard for Michigan, had to leave practice and is late, so that could be something. But is Wagler, the kid from Illinois, the best pro prospect?
He is. He's their guard. He's probably their version of Acuff. Probably not quite as talented, but he's certainly not far off the list. He's been a big part of what they have done offensively, really, over the last several months. So, it's a Big Ten team against a UConn squad, and Illinois is very big. We know that. I mean, size-wise, they are incredibly big. So I think that gives them a chance to negate a little bit of what UConn has been able to do in the paint, I would think. But UConn's very good. I mean, there has to be something to these teams, or maybe it's more likely coaches that have had success getting to Final Fours. And obviously Dusty May did that with a different program. But UConn and Hurley have been there time in and time out deep in these runs. So maybe they do have a little bit of that magic potion to offset some of these individual players that Illinois will run out there.
Who's the next head coach for the North Carolina Tar Heels? Do you think they already got it done and they're waiting? Do you think it could be one of these 4 coaches that are left in the tournament?
I mean, I would hope it would be done, or they'd be well on their way. I suppose there's a possibility because they have it announced. I know that teams get a little reluctant to announce too many things around the Final Four. I don't know if Dusty May might be a consideration, too, although he seems like a Midwest guy, and Tommy Lloyd seems like a West Coast guy. The only thing I would say in regards to Tommy Lloyd, and for Arizona's sake, I hope he doesn't go, is that Arizona's been operating in a little different budget concern for a long time with the revenues coming into that athletic department and some of the issues. Now they've had renaming of their basketball arena McHale, and they've renamed their football stadium, and they're doing everything they can to try and play catch up after some years of really suffering. And I don't sense money as a problem basketball-wise at North Carolina, so maybe there might be a possibility. It's interesting, though, at least with Arizona and North Carolina, I don't know if there's more than what I would consider 9 or 10 true basketball schools. I think Arkansas might be in that mix. Arizona every bit is, and North Carolina is. So in some senses, I think Tommy Lloyd's already got a pretty good shot, unless Carolina tries to woo him with many more dollars than he's getting in Tucson.
Okay, you just listed some basketball schools. Who's the basketball school of the Big Ten? Michigan's still a football school.
Purdue.
Purdue. Okay, that tracks. Sure.
And, you think about there's Kansas, there's Duke, there's Carolina, there's Arizona. There's some schools like Gonzaga and St. John's. It's really not in the same apples and oranges conversation because they don't have football. But I think Kentucky and Arkansas are those teams in the SEC. I know we all want a winning football program. It's what makes the athletic departments hum, but I do think there are schools that have basketball. It is kind of the priority, and I would probably put a lot of those schools in that. Yeah. Illinois, I think, is a basketball school too, but their football team has been competitive.
Michigan State, more of a basketball school, I think, under Izzo.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you see any of the high school All-American game? I got to check a little bit out. Coach Cal saying the freshmen coming in are going to be a little more physical. I think he's right on. And I did notice Coach Muss out at USC got 3 McDonald's All-Americans to come his way. So maybe him and the Trojans are on the come as well. I don't know if you got a chance to check that game out.
I caught some pieces. And normally I watch that game, but it's been fun in recent years because Arkansas's had representatives and the same thing. I think Muss, after 3 years of not making the tournament, I don't think it's a lot of fun to be around him right now. And if they need talent to turn it around, and that's a tough place to do so. But I think he's probably rolling out the carpet to try and bring in that group or that tier of talent. But it's fun. It's fun looking at Arkansas's guys too. I forget who said this, Matt. Maybe about 3 weeks ago, whether it was written or said, that Coach Cal had the best former guard of his in the NBA, and Shea had the best current guard in college basketball in Acuff, and had the best future college player in his McDonald's All-American. So that was kind of a fun way of framing it, and that's kind of why it generated a little bit of interest with me watching the McDonald's highlights.
And it was JSJ, I think is what he goes by, but one of his other guards, John Wall, who gave him the trophy for Player of the Year, and then Acuff, who Reebok, the last time they signed a guard to a multi-year contract, was John Wall, and now it's Acuff. So, yeah, their Razorbacks are all over the place right now.
You brought that full circle. I like that.
And I like how John Wall is sort of like a Razorback here, too, because he played for Cal. I mean, you very well may end up wearing the logo anyway.
We're all Razorback fans. That's right.
I guess that's exactly right. Baseball series, Brett, how much importance you put on these next 3 days, and what do you think of announcing only one starting pitcher for the series?
Yeah, it's interesting because, I can't imagine Dietz not being in the rotation unless they wanted to move him to Game 3 so that he's not too far off that weekly routine. I don't know, but I put a lot of importance in this week just because I think we all know, Phil, we need to see a little more, and we've seen glimpses of offense on Tuesday night, and pitching has had a rough stretch as of late, but we're not used to 4-game losing streaks. We're not used to teams being on the verge of potentially falling out of the top 25. So, it's a quick turnaround. Every school, for the most part, is sort of dealing with that over the next few weeks with some of these Thursday series or Easter, but I want to see this team play better, and it would be great to win a series against a team that would seem to be kind of in a similar position, kind of fighting it a bit, trying to find some wins before the schedule gets even more difficult soon.
All right, last thing, and it's a baseball thing. So I saw this morning, and I'm a little surprised they're doing it and didn't start him in the big leagues. The Pirates are bringing up the top prospect in all of baseball, Connor Griffin. He's a 19-year-old shortstop, and he, for some reason, started the year at AAA, then went, I think, 7 for 16, and they're calling him up, and it's April 2nd. I am never going to believe in the Pittsburgh Pirates in the month of April or in the month of May, and probably not even in the month of June. But maybe, Brett, give me some idea why maybe I might have reason to believe in their ability to win more games than they lose by the time we get to July.
Well, I think Griffin getting called up gives you a little bit. I hate to say he's the Skeens equivalent of a position player because he came straight out of high school and didn't have the benefit of a couple of years at Air Force and LSU and what that meant to pitch at a high level at the college game, which put him on track to be a quick call-up to the major leagues and the Pirates. This kid's special, though, and he has all the attributes, and I'm just curious to see what it looks like. I think we saw it in spring training. We saw it last year in the minor leagues. He's a different bird. He has a chance to be a big-time player for a number of years, and it's really hard for the Pirates to sign any type of caliber of those players in free agency. You have to bring them up from the system. They haven't done that a lot lately, but maybe this is the rare exception.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait a little bit on it, but I'm paying attention. I'm just gonna pay attention because we are. It's not easy. It's not easy being a Pirates fan, and you want to believe in something in early baseball season. So I'm glad I at least have the Razorbacks, Brett.
Yeah, the Pirates have beaten you up over the last couple of decades. I get it. I feel your pain. Maybe this will help, and maybe Griffin will truly be the real deal, and maybe Arkansas will win a road series, and we can kind of get this ship back on track too.
Softball, Auburn, too, this week. That's 2 weeks in a row that baseball and softball have an opponent. Softball took care of Florida last week. What do you think about this series with the Tigers?
Yeah, it's fun because it's a Saturday, Sunday, Monday series, which is a little bit unique. But I thought Florida was one of the best hitting teams I've seen in college softball, maybe outside of Oklahoma in a long time. Arkansas found a way to win the series with a dramatic bottom of the seventh home run on Sunday. So they're clipping right along. They still need to probably get a little more depth out of their starting rotation with their top pitcher, Robin Herron, being just dealing with a lingering pain issue. But this team seems to have a great chance to get to Oklahoma City. So I hope they do. I hope they can keep it rolling and keep taking care of business at home to give them a chance to host a regional and a super and finally get to OKC.
Brett, we'll see you Tuesday next week for Arkansas's only home baseball game for a 2-week period, and then we'll talk again Thursday.
You know it, guys. Take care.
Thank you. Brett Dolan from RSN and Perfect Game joining us on Halftime just about every Thursday. And now we can open up our Lewis Automotive Group hotline for you at 877-377-6963. Hey, make sure you get over to Twin Peaks and Rogers and experience incredible food and the best place for watching basketball for this weekend. It's your headquarters for watching the Hogs or any sports team or any game. It's the Ultimate Sports Lodge with wall-to-wall TVs from every angle. You'll never miss a single play at Twin Peaks and Rogers. Plus, scratch-made food, ice-cold 29-degree draft beer, and a fun game day atmosphere. This is why fans love watching games at Twin Peaks. You find them in Rogers and also at TwinPeaksRestaurant.com. We're in the home stretch, and halftime returns after the break.
Duncombe and Pringle dusting it up on the floor. Pringle shoves Duncombe down to the hardwood. The officials have stepped in.
This is halftime.
Explore Harrison presents Jordan Felice and the God is Good Tour live Friday, May 8th at the Creekside Amp in Harrison. Plus, special guest Riley Clemens. Get ready for an unforgettable night of worship, energy, and the songs you love. Jordan Felice and Riley Clemens. Tickets on sale now. Grab yours at CreeksideAmp.com. The God is Good Tour, produced by Lightway.
Tired of paying high box store prices for your building materials? Integrity Outlets Auction Company is having a huge public building materials auction on Saturday, April the 11th, starting at 10 a.m. Join us at 235 Homestyle Drive, Berryville, Arkansas. We're selling lumber, cabinets, appliances, flooring, windows, and much more to the highest bidder. Contractors, flippers, and homeowners, don't miss this. Visit our Facebook page at Integrity Outlets Auctions for complete details.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Arkansas fans, get fired up at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for Tex-Mex and Arkansas Game Day. Catch Arkansas basketball games live on our big TV screens. And when you wear your Arkansas gear, score half-price apps and cheap taps. Enjoy complimentary chips and homemade salsa, fresh and made from scratch every day. Don't miss Joe's Mexican-inspired daily specials, fast, friendly service, and the best game day fun in town. Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Looking for a career with a company built to last? At Forsgren, we've been shaping the future of the River Valley since 1936. Nearly 90 years of excellence, innovation, and family-driven leadership. From sidewalks that still stand today to major infrastructure projects across the region, our legacy is built on quality and community. Apply now at GoForsgren.com. Join the Forsgren legacy, where your work becomes part of something lasting. Forsgren, building the foundation of the River Valley for 4 generations. Apply now at GoForsgren.com.
Bounce on into Crabtree RV Center in Alma, Arkansas for the best deals on new and pre-owned RVs. Whether you're looking for a motorhome, travel trailer, fifth wheel, or toy hauler, we have them all here at Crabtree. So avoid the madness of crowded cities and hotels this summer by taking your family team on the open road with the perfect RV from Crabtree RV Center. Conveniently located at the junction of I-40 and I-49, family owned and operated since 1950. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
10 years ago, True Grit Running Company opened its doors with one simple goal: to help people move better, feel stronger, and find their stride. Today, we're celebrating 10 years of True Grit. Join us all year long for anniversary events, group runs, limited edition gear, and plenty of surprises as we kick off 2026. Whether you're chasing a finish line or just starting your journey, thank you for being part of our story. True Grit Running Company, 10 years strong, built by runners.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at AAABM.com or call us at 471-1771.
Spring is here, and it's the perfect time to upgrade your home. If your garage door needs repair or you're ready for a new look, call Precision Garage Door. From broken springs and openers to brand new doors, they provide expert service and professional installation. Fully licensed and insured, with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers, and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call 844-PDS-DOOR or visit PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Precision Garage Door, voted the best in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Every time I look at you, every time I look at you, I could blind. Every time I look at you, I could blind. Every time I look at you, I could blind. In the morning I get up and I try to feel alive, but I can't. Every time I look at you, I could blind. I don't know what it is, something in me.
Make sure to follow Halftime on X at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years.
Since 1946. No pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive.
Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Let's go to our Lewis Automotive Group hotline here. Tony in Perryville has called us today. Good afternoon, Tony. What's up?
Mr. Elson, Mr. Jones, it's an honor to speak to you.
Thank you very much, Tony. It's an honor to have you here.
I like the way you claim eminent domain on Bubba's hat, since you had it longest in possession, it seems like, last weekend.
He accuses me of stealing that, the same way that my father accuses me of stealing a lithograph of Fenway Park. But I took that thing 25 years ago, so, I mean, maybe I stole it for a year, but I own the sucker now. That's my hat, too.
I have a request I hope you can help me out with. I don't know whether I'm pre-Alzheimer's or early stage rigor mortis, but I really love listening to your calls. If you could just throw in who's on base, the inning, and how many outs a little more often, you'd help an old man's memory out.
I will take that under advisement. Thank you very much, Tony. Anything else?
Y'all have a great day. Oh, no, man, I really enjoy y'all's show.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that very much, Tony. 877-377-6963 for any other pointers, too. I used to travel around, Matt, with an egg timer, because I remember, who was the guy that used to do that? I think it was Ernie Harwell would travel around with an egg timer, essentially. Like every 2 minutes, the sand would run out, and he would make sure he gave the score. And then you start to realize, like, I feel like an idiot traveling around with an egg timer amongst all the other things that you travel around with. So then it's just try to give the score at least once an at-bat. Once an at-bat. Not at-bat like for the inning. I mean once every hitter, at least. Once every inning, once every batter. Probably try to do it more than that. The score, who's on base, the count, and the inning always should go together with me. But I think I got to do it a little bit more.
Well, I like that. Doing this radio show, I always try to speak like my mother's listening, so I don't have to worry about anything like that. I saw this the other day, Andy Reid getting ready for a players meeting as a coach. He said he would write a couple things down on a 3x5 note card, and the meetings would never be longer than that, because nobody wants to go to a 2-hour meeting.
They don't.
You'll write your 2 or 3 things down, and we'll get to work, we'll do it. But yeah, have you ever been, whoever the boss is, like you have the head coach, like you always have a team meeting. A lot of times it's 2 minutes to 5 minutes. But when you have a 17, a 25-minute meeting, it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, you want to hit the points that you hit on, and then
let's go get to work. That's right.
We've all seen the look in people's faces when the meeting gets to the point where no one's paying attention and it's just a bunch of glazed eyes. And yeah, I think teams are usually pretty good about that. It's just that sometimes people do like to hear themselves talk. You can accuse the same thing of radio shows and radio hosts, but we actually are paid to talk, so
that is true.
We have to keep talking. We're not doing it to hear ourselves talk. We're hearing it because you have to fill the 3 hours. Nobody has to schedule a 3-hour meeting, and if you do, you probably want to shorten that thing by quite a lot. It was an interesting meeting that the team had yesterday, the baseball team. And I want you see the team after a game and they have their huddle. Sometimes they look like they might go a little bit long, but there are messages that are being delivered that those guys are listening to. And I thought that the message that Matt Hobbs delivered to that team yesterday, and I don't think he'd mind me, mentioning this and bringing it out. He was talking about if you don't like what's been going on for this last little more than a week stretch, you have to, first of all, really not like it and act like you want to do something about it. You got to change something that you're doing, and I think if you look at like a Kahia Waloy who struck out 5 times in his last game, he's got to find a way to make contact and when he gets a fastball, put it into play, lay off the sliders. These are things that, he was doing last year that he's having trouble, I think, papering over this year. He hasn't necessarily made the change. I think in his head he's thinking about it, but hasn't been able to put it into practice. And there's individually things that each of these guys can do. Certainly the pitching staff right now to be better than what they've been showing. But he also said, and this was after he talked with the team, that, and I'm talking with Matt about this and asking him about the starting rotation. He said, you noticed what I just said to the team, that if you don't like what's going on, you have to do something to change it. And you have to figure out what that is that you have to change so that you find more success and therefore the team finds more success. Well, he asked me, what's been the problem for us of late? And I said, pitching has. He says, that's right. We can't go about it the same way that we were going about it until this stretch. So if we don't make a change in the way that we're aligning our pitching, these players, these other pitchers and our hitters are paying attention to this. And they know what the issues have been. The hitters are well aware that pitching is the main issue, and they haven't scored enough to win games. But I think they also realize that there needs to be a change with the pitching rotation specifically. So Matt put it on the players to make a change to hopefully, get more success for this program, but he also thought, well, we have to do the same thing as coaches. And to me, Matt, it was, with a rotation, you want to try to keep it the same every single week, but they obviously can't do that right now. And they're not being hard-headed about it. And they also don't want to be, in Matt's case, he did not want to be hypocritical. And you gotta realize the moments that you make pointed statements to teams, and it can't be every single day because the message gets lost. But I thought that moment stood out. You guys have to make a change in what you're doing. We do too as coaches, and they made that change in terms of how they're going to figure out who's pitching.
Well, you have to be accountable, and I think that's what you're doing. The coaches are saying, "Look, we've made mistakes too." And there's one thing to make mistakes, but there's one thing to make effort mistakes. And so you're trying to figure it out. And as coaches, being raised by both my parents were teachers, Pops was a coach. One of the things they don't understand is you can't keep making the same mistake over and over again. So if you're missing on a pitch on whatever the pitch you're missing on, can't keep missing in the same spot. Got to know this scouting report. Where do certain hitters don't like to be pitched to? Well, let's be heavier on those spots. Got to kind of understand the scenario, understand the situation, and then let cream rise to the top. Let talent play. Don't think too much about it. Know your role, know your assignment, and have a joyful attitude about it. Like I always say, play like Andrew Armstrong. You remember that dude? He's smiling the whole time. He get hit, he gets up smiling and happy. Be now you got to be yourself. Don't be over the top or whatever. But it's still a game. It's still a game with your brothers. You're out there competing. Have fun and enjoy yourself. Now, losing all the time stinks. That's not fun. So I don't like it, and I know a lot of players, and when you make it to that level, you don't like losing. And so it is figure it out and then start winning a little bit, and everything's better when you're winning.
And it's like you try to find that fine line between, taking this thing seriously and also trying to enjoy yourself at the same time while not putting too much pressure on yourself to be the thing or the guy or the reason why the losing streak stops. Because you feel, well, like, what is pressure? And we talk about what pressure is. Pressure is all in somebody's head. You're pertinent to the situation that you're in, and maybe the comfort level you had moving into that moment. But isn't pressure really something that's all in your head? And it's like I think of some of the greatest athletes and their ability to slow down in the moments where the heart is just beating at a level where you're just not used to it. We got into this so many times in the last couple of weeks since the moment with Boozer, the point guard for Duke, and it's just you can't create in practice those situations really where it's like, all right, the pressure of 10 seconds left in this Elite Eight game is there. And it's the same idea as being a baseball player that's playing for a team that's in a losing streak, and you're trying to find that comfort level. It's all a matter of, man, you got to create that comfort yourself somehow. Sometimes that's what makes the athlete who they are. It's the physical abilities, the natural abilities that are different from anybody else, and all the focus and the hope and the love that you put into it. But then it's also like how you can slow your mind down to where those moments that we view as pressure, you might not be feeling the pressure at that moment.
10,000 hour rule. How do you make it to Carnegie Hall? Practice. That's what you're doing. That's why every day you're practicing and you're going over technique, you're going over form, you're watching film, you're doing all sorts. You're scouting reports, tendencies. There's so many things you do all the time to make it so when you get up there, whatever sport it is, that you're just able to be in that flow state. So that you're just able to play free and do the game that you like, because they're all talented. Every one of those guys. That's one thing I noticed about the NFL. The guy that's backing you up is really good. The guy, college, same thing, not to the same extent. High school, not as much. College, man, you're an SEC player. You know what? You're really good, and I like what Dave's doing and mixing up the pitching rotation, because something's got to change, and somebody's going to shine. Somebody's going to take that, and we're going to talk about it in 2 years, Phil, and you'll be like, this one of the guys got his chance. This is when he got it, and he's not going to look back, and you're going to have a new leader.
All right, we'll be back in a moment and wrap up the show as I'll take one more bite of Cracker Jack. This is halftime.
You got no one that's afraid of us. They just come in and like, let's go. Well, that means you don't have enough dogs on the court.
This is halftime.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
Are you tired of loose, uncomfortable dentures or struggling with missing teeth? This is Dr. Charles Liggett with River Valley Smile Center. Dr. Cole Johnson, Dr. Hannah Cave, and myself experience with full arch dental implant solutions. Dentures that are securely attached to implants, giving you a natural-looking, confident smile that feels like your own. No more slipping, no more pain, just the freedom to smile, speak, and eat with ease. You like coming to see us, right, Matt?
Who doesn't want to say, I love the way your smile lights up under your eyes? Call 479-646-0706 or visit rivervalleysmiles.com to schedule your consultation today.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
The Solid Rock has been locally owned for over 46 years. When was the last time you were there? So much more than a bookstore. They have Christian t-shirts, church supplies, Bible studies, devotionals, home decor, gifts, and of course, a large selection of Bibles. And Bibles are engraved free of charge while you wait. Now, you can get custom laser engraving on select gift items and some Bibles. Located next to Sam's Club on South 74th, The Solid Rock is your source for faith-based books, music, clothing, and more. The Solid Rock, 452-4844.
When it's time to stock the bar, fill the cooler, or grab the perfect bottle, stop by River Point Wine and Spirits. You'll love our clean, organized store, full of all the best liquor, wine, and beer at the right price. At River Point, we're a family-owned business where customer service is always our priority. So come stock up for game night, date night, or the weekend ahead. Your journey, our spirit. River Point Wine and Spirits, Grand Avenue and I-540.
Bounce on into Crabtree RV Center in Alma, Arkansas for the best deals on new and pre-owned RVs. Whether you're looking for a motorhome, travel trailer, fifth wheel, or toy hauler, we have them all here at Crabtree. So avoid the madness of crowded cities and hotels this summer by taking your family team on the open road with the perfect RV from Crabtree RV Center. Conveniently located at the junction of I-40 and I-49, family owned and operated since 1950. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
What's new at the Golf Nut in 2026? A lot. New tailor-made ID4 woods, hybrids, and irons are in stock January 29th. The all-new Ping G440K driver and Ping S259 wedges also arrive January 29th. And coming soon, Callaway Quantum Woods and Hybrids February 13th with irons landing February 27th. Step inside our newly remodeled retail space, check out the simulation bays, and experience our new fitting and lesson bay featuring 3 high-speed cameras filming at 120 frames per second. The Golf Nut, where your best game starts.
Fort Smith, get ready to fondue it at TGI Fridays. We're turning up the flavor with our all-new Fondue It menu. For just $3, you can upgrade your favorite Fridays classic with a warm tableside cheese pour served on a sizzling cast iron skillet. Picture this: loaded potato skins, a crispy chicken sandwich, the bacon cheeseburger, or the bold big queso energy burger, all finished with rich poblano queso fondue. Or go next level with our truffle mushroom burger, topped with smooth Alfredo fondue. TGI Fridays, Fort Smith. And here, it's always Friday.
Lewis Automotive celebrating 80 years. Since 1946. No pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive.
Pushing around the house, hidden behind the window and the door, searching for signs of life, but there's nobody home.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Wrapping things up here. Who we've been listening to here, man? We had a lot of freaks. I know we just had who were we
Better
listening
Than
to?
Ezra.
Ezra, that's right. I was going to call him Green Day. I know that's not Green Day.
We almost had a spinning wheel, but it got blood, sweat, and tears, but it got vetoed, and we went with Hootie and the Blowfish, I Go Blind. And then what'd we have for Brett Dolan? I know he had we had Glamour is a Rocky Road by Wanna See Unit's new favorite bands.
I like the freak theme for
Hour
the second
2
hour.
It was all with freaks in the title, yeah.
That was all really good. And I didn't know the Silverchair Freak song. The one I was going to be was Freaks Come Out at Night. I don't remember who did that, but that's an 80s song. It's good stuff. Halftime playlist, of course, designed by the one and only Matt Jones. Thanks to Bath Makeover of Arkansas. Bath Makeover of Arkansas, local Arkansas business that installs American-made bathtubs, showers, and walk-in tubs. If you're tired of climbing over that old, outdated tub and cleaning and maintaining that tile shower, Bath Makeover has the solution for you. They got 3 showrooms across the state in Little Rock, Harrison, and El Dorado. We are going to be at the Harrison location next Wednesday. Every estimate comes with Bath Makeover's price lock guarantee. 1-800-NEW-BATH, 1-800-NEW-BATH, or bathmakeoverar.com. Chris is upset somebody vetoed Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Don't let that happen.
We might hit it tomorrow. We still got 9 more songs tomorrow.
Yeah, and tomorrow's Friday. Did I have to ask you what day it is today, Matt? Yesterday I did. I think I was all right today. It was Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. I feel
Hey, it's
really
game
good about
day,
that.
though.
Yes, today's game day. Tomorrow's game day. And, oh, man, I need to see a win.
Let's go baseball.
Let's do it. That's right. Let's go baseball. Got the Tigers showing up. The Hogs are a couple hours away, and we got airtime at 5:30 for the Dugout Show. Up until then, you can listen to Ruskin and Zach or just download the Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast. Tells all the highlights. Thanks again to Eastside Liquor, and we'll do this tomorrow. So for Matt and the unit, I'm Phil. Have a great Thursday.
Metal Mart offers high-quality prefabricated